Good afternoon, ladies, or morning, depending on where you're located, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Xbox Game Showcase in just under 45 minutes remaining. And I think that Microsoft and Xbox has the potential to give us one of the most exciting showcases in a very long time. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping up with all the new reveals and all the new exciting announcements, but it's already been really, really incredible to see some of the upcoming games. 2026 looks like it's going to be a phenomenal year for gaming. Absolutely phenomenal. And there were even some reveals for... I started this really early because I want to go through some of the reveals from the Future Game Show, which I didn't stream. But that blue number, if you want to watch somebody react to the Future Game Show, check out that blue number and her channel, because she did a phenomenal job. It was very entertaining to watch alongside, and she doesn't talk as much as me during the announcement. So, no trailer after the trailer before the trailer. Unfortunately, I should find out how to do that. I should have had that ready to go. There's always next year, Jeremy. That's going to be the next year goal. But yes, if you want to check out the Future Game Show, that blue number did a phenomenal job of sharing it, and she talks less than I do, so you can actually hear what's going on. So my goal for this stream and today's showcase is to, unless it's something I am absolutely like over, yeah, right, whatever that is, unless there's a game that gets me like that, for example, The Elder Scrolls 6, then I will try to keep it a little bit more quiet during the reveals. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. Lotus, Bobby, that blue number, Orman, Chris, welcome. Bim Lau, great to see you, Bim. You've been coming around a lot lately, and I really appreciate having you on board. Sips, you catch almost all the streams as well. So you've been here a while, Sips, so thank you for sticking around. Timmer, always a pleasure. Timmer has been an OG for a very, very long time. Timmer, you followed the channel since before I even deleted it and then rebooted it. So that's how you know it's real. If anybody was around before we deleted the channel and restarted, then you're a real one. Absolutely. You're all real ones, but you know what I mean. Jonas isn't here, so I can't say hello to him, unfortunately. Bongani, welcome. Damarco. Yes? Need something? Heard any news from the other provinces? Saw a mud crab the other day. Disgusting creatures. Anyway, so Future Game Show was fantastic. Holly did a great job. She's there in chat. You could go check out her channel. Holly, feel free to link your channel in the chat as well. I wanted to go through a couple things. And yeah, Chris, the Expanse is absolutely on my list. I have that. Where is that one? Right here. So if I just go to a little bit of, bam, the Expanse. So this is absolutely one that I want to talk about because I have never watched the show The Expanse after watching this trailer and seeing the Owlcats. I was actually, so here's the thing, I was getting emails from Owlcat. I never signed up for Owlcat's newsletter. I never, like, played most of their game. I did, obviously, Warhammer, and for those of you who don't know, Owlcat Games, they typically have CRPGs, so The Expanse is their new one, but they did, like, Rogue Trader, Pathfinder, right? I've never played Warhammer Rogue Trader, but I was getting emails from them, and they were sending these transmissions, right, in the emails, which were basically just, it was these fragmented communications. I didn't have any idea what to make of it, and again, I haven't really played too many Owlcat, not that I'm not interested in Pathfinder, I just never have played Pathfinder, so they were sending me these emails, like, I don't know how I got on this mailing list, and they were saying in the emails too, they said, feel free to share this with your audience, like if you want to tweet out that we're teasing things, but I had no idea what it could have possibly been, not only because I've never watched The Expanse before, so maybe if I had, I would have been able to pick up on some context clues, but I thought nothing of it. I was like, okay, I don't know, it might be something else that I'll be interested in, but I don't know. And then I saw this trailer, And just to pull this up, right? Hold on, I'm not getting sound. Let's fix that for 1 second here. There we go.
Got it.
Just to pull this up.
Taki, we gonna find out about your Kopang right quick, okay?
Just want to do him justice. Stuck his neck out for us. Least we can do is get him out alive.
We've got big enough guns to make justice, all right?
Oh, Michael. To a man with a hammer, just about everything looks like a nail.
Aim for show. Time to say oh yeah with our hammer.
Missile range in 1 minute.
Like, it's such a cool universe, and they have fantastic voice acting as well. I think they're getting some of the original cast from the show to reprise some roles in this. It's epic sci-fi. Mass Effect meets a little bit of Star Trek. Really damn cool, and you have alien species that are here, so it's not sort of a Starfield type, right?
Zafar, did you get a signal?
After the large haul down this corridor, they shut down this part of the facility. Long time before our arrival.
Fine, let's deal with those guys first.
Cool technology. Of course, this is all just cinematic, so it's not necessarily going to translate to gameplay, but I think even if someone were to do sort of a trailer analysis of this game, it's one of those trailers where I think you can pull a lot out of it. Specifically, the environments, it's probably going to be, right, a little bit more linear in its level design. Some open elements, but I think it's going to be more like a Mass Effect 2 style, right? Playing around with anti-gravity.
They never went right. They shut down this.
Wait! Hold on, I'm coming! I'll cover you.
And if you've never seen the Expanse before, you get a pretty good look at the technology in the world as well. The abilities, right? Kind of a shield charge is probably going to be one of the abilities in the game.
Up high shall be thine eyes.
What the hell happened here?
Hey, buddy.
And it just looks so damn cool. Right? Instantly intrigued by that mystery. And here's a little bit of gameplay. This is pre-alpha though, so keep that in mind. But you get a sense of the environments. So this is a fantastic trailer. The cinematic side, you get some of the pre-alpha gameplay. This is still very early, but you can see the only thing I would comment on here is sort of like a lack of crowd density, but honestly, that's like nitpicking. Because my understanding of the Expanse is very, like, very, very dense in terms of... You could tell, too, it's pre-alpha, because a lot of these visual effects are probably going to be tuned up as well. And just look better than it already does. It'll just look better than it already does. So, this looked really, really cool. Bogani joined my stream, and they're basically totally new to RPGs. Bogani, welcome. My recent sub to the channel. Do you think they'll address the Xbox handheld delay? Also, Halo PS5 announcement. Great questions. I think that they are not going to announce the handheld or really talk about the handheld delay. That's going to probably be something they acknowledged it, or it was covered by Windows Central, and it was covered pretty extensively. If they do address it, it would be something where they acknowledge it exists. They say, yeah, we're still working on a handheld, and we're super excited because we love, you know, the fact that people can game anywhere, and you can play on your phone and your your PC. Because we've been seeing a lot of teases, right? People have been calling out from Xbox that, especially on the PC side of things, I think it's just becoming, just Xbox PC? Instead of, like, games for Windows or something along those lines. So, in that regard, I think if they're talking really about the accessibility of Xbox games, that they're going to look at that and they're going to say, hey, look at how we have this handheld too. We are working on it, and it's going to take some time because we want to make sure that everything works perfectly, but it would be very, very sort of in the background. The Expanse looks so good. I really didn't like the show, but I'm excited for this. Interesting. I'll have to check out the show. Watched a few seasons and then forgot to pick it back up. That's okay. I did the same thing with Andor, season 2. I say that like I'm attacking you. I haven't watched The Expanse. It's not an attack against me that I love The Expanse. But I'm very interested in it. There's a part in the gameplay portion where you're fighting people and the Gemini is shooting them through the space station. See, that's what you can kind of dig out if you really dove through this. I think there's so much you can get out of this trailer. It looks really damn cool. I was disappointed the show didn't continue. It's interesting that it didn't continue, but it's obviously popular enough to get a game adaptation. It had the Telltale game as well, which was really, really neat. It's right after this. Oh, yeah, here. Shooting through the station. Right. Which is really, really neat, right? This is something actually... it's interesting that they have like a little label for cover here on the HUD. But it looks to be sort of a hard cover. Does he run into cover or does he just... Yeah, he locks into it. So it has a hard cover system very similar to Mass Effect 2. So I think that looks awesome. No handheld info. Almost sure there's a Halo announcement. I don't. Like I said, I don't really think they're gonna bring up a handheld anything, unless the only exception is they say it in passing, where they're sort of again addressing we have Play Anywhere. Ooh. Xbox. Getting into a 30-minute countdown. What are you doing here? What are you doing here, Xbox? What's going on? Ah! We refresh. I don't like AI. Go away. Can I close this? Okay, so yeah, they're having some streaming issues. Anyway, all right, let's go back into what's going on here. I stopped watching the Expanse because I was watching it on a screen where it was having an issue with the sound. Like the dialogue was so quiet that I couldn't hear them over all the environment. So I said, I'm not gonna keep watching this. I can't hear a damn thing. Plus the accents. When you combine the audio being low, which again was a result of the sound system I was using, but you combine the audio being low in conjunction with oh, okay, we're doing some pre-show stuff. Neat. Fallout 76 fishing. This was the vibe I was trying to go for with my pre-show, with my trailer, before the stream started. Just something relaxing and calm. A nice little vibe there. Fallout 76 needs to have some... Fallout 76 needs to get some pretty big updates as well. It's really cool to see that this game turned around. Alright, ignoring at that blue number. Yeah, you guys can't talk anymore. The F fishing is so good, way better than expected in 76. I'm surprised. I never knew that people liked fishing this much in games. I never knew. And all of a sudden it got added to Skyrim and people were excited. It got added to Fallout and people were going, "Oh my god, it has fishing." And then I remember it got shown in Tainted Grail and there were some people who were like, "Oh, it has fishing? Amazing." I didn't know that people liked fishing this much. I didn't know that people liked fishing this much. I didn't like the show at all, mostly because the politics were complicated and so much of the story didn't feel like they explained it. It was hard to follow. That's for the Expanse, right? Here you go, King. I'm doing the stream right here. I'm doing a Fallout 76 stream. Welcome, King. Thank you for stopping by. Church starts at 1 o'clock. Go be with your congregation, if that's the right verbiage. I apologize if it's not, but enjoy your service, and I hope that it goes well, and thank you for stopping by. I have a friend who deep dives. They should check out Nice Day for Fishing from Viva La Dirt League, if that's the case. Alright, I wanted to go through a couple more. This is just some nice ambiance there, but I want to go through a couple more things that really, really impressed me. This was Echoes of the End. King, I checked out your latest podcast. I know that you're 50-50 on Elder Scrolls 6. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. Elder Scrolls 6 is still a 50-50 thing, all things considered. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that it'll be here. I still am leaning towards no. But there's some good arguments for Elder Scrolls 6 making an appearance. Dude, Mark Dam! Welcome, Jenkins! And thank you to all of my channel members. King, Jenkins, Jeremy, Chris, Holly, Bobby, all channel members, Lotus as well. Thank you guys for the support on the channel. I really do appreciate that. We're getting to a point, just some really quick channel updates too. Getting to a point where the channel, assuming that I keep up with the volume of content, it's getting to a point where I can consider having maybe like one video a week, or one video, or 1 to 2 videos a month edited for me. And while I do enjoy doing my own edits, it would be really exciting to take some of the income that the channel makes to reinvest it into the channel, just to get some things that have higher value, and also to offload some of that work. So theoretically, I would be able to work on some editing on my own, and then also get a few more videos out that I don't have to worry about. So we're kind of getting to that point, which is really exciting, because it's sort of the first baby steps to having a little bit more consistent outflow, and a little bit higher production quality, and all that exciting stuff that comes with the channel growing. So nothing is sort of in the works in that regard yet, but it's just getting to that point, and I want to call that out specifically because it's thanks to all of you, right, that can happen. And so, and I also want you to know that, you know, I'm not going off and I'm not buying like a bunch of junk with any of your contributions to the channel. I'm not wasting it and kind of using it frivolously. I usually give a lot of it back in giveaways, and then I do keep it to reinvest to help continue to provide higher value on the channel. So thanks to all of you who helped to make that happen. I'm incredibly grateful. But will we order Italian food? Gonna get pasta frutti di mare. Want some more? Yeah, Jenkins, if you could just send that over, that'd be great. I need some good, and honestly, Jenkins, you could probably get some higher quality. Actually, I'm in New York. I could get some pretty high quality Italian food if I want to. But I mean, hey, travel submit. Wait, aren't you traveling actually? Aren't you traveling? You've been doing a lot of travel lately. I need to travel. God damn, I've been so out of it. All right, echoes of the end, right? This looked really interesting just because it's another... I'm a sucker for fantasy, right? That's not a surprise at this point. And I'm a sucker for cool fantasy worlds.
The wards.
And this looks like it's doing a bit of God of War.
And if it claims our lives,
meets a little bit of maybe...
what's one life lost for the sake of the many?
And now,
there's another game I want
what
to
do you
compare
swear
to.
by today?
God of War. It looks like almost like God of War.
The only one that matters is my brother. And I will kill the people who took him from me.
Avium? No, I wasn't gonna say Avium. Hellblade. That's what I was thinking of. You have some really cool monsters, really cool mythology. The magic system looks pretty interesting. Some Shadow of Mordor style.
Take my hand. I hear not the clamor of conquerors. The pestilence must be purged.
Right, so you have some big boss battles like that, combo takedowns that bring me back to sort of a Jedi Fall or Jedi Survivor, where you can partner with like Merrin or Bode during the game and do some takedowns together, or Arkham Knight.
It may spell another end.
Echoes of the End. Right, it looks really cool. Xbox, PS5, PC, and it's from Mirker Games. I don't know what has Mirker worked on. What have they done? Is this going to be a debut game for them? It looks like it is, yeah. At Reykjavik University while studying game development, they met there. Okay, so it's going to be a debut game from this studio. Built out of Reykjavik. Which is really, really cool. So this is one that I absolutely want to cover a little bit. Because it looks really interesting. And I like when you have some creatives coming in and doing a new IP especially. Because we live, let's be honest, we live in a generation, they're doing Fallout 76 stuff still. Still doing fishing. We live in a generation that includes a lot of remakes and a lot of expanding on IPs. Even EA just had 3 canceled games, right? Where they mention that they're going to double down or triple down on existing IPs and things that they know make a lot of money. So to see something like Echoes of the End coming out in a brand new fantasy world, new IP, unique, some unique magic mechanics, and then on top of that, I like that it's also not a Souls-like. Maybe I'm in the minority with this, but I'm a bit tired of Souls-likes, honestly. They're good. The problem is the gameplay works, right? It's a really good gameplay formula, and it works really, really well, but I am a bit tired of it. Hey, I was in New York. Didn't know you lived there. Yeah, Timur, I'm in New York. Welcome. Not like the city. Not in any of the major metropolitan areas, though. Lies, you love Souls games. I like some. I like the Star Wars Souls games. I like Elden Ring, too. I did quite like Elden Ring. It looks cool, but I did see some things about it that make me cautious. I imagine the things that you saw that make you cautious are probably some of the aspects of being a new development team, right? So I think this will, if I had to wager a guess, this is going to turn out on a similar level as a Banishers of New Eden or a, it got a sequel, Greedfall, like a Greedfall, a Banishers, it's going to fall sadly into that sort of 87, high 70s, 78 range as far as reviews go. And it'll be good. Like, it'll be a solid game and it'll have some fans. I don't think it's necessarily going to explode or set the world on fire, but I would love if it did. So that was Echoes of the End revealed at Future Game Show. There's also this one here. So this is Hell Is Us, which we've seen a decent amount of, but it continues to look impressive. And
connected to your discovery are given to you in a silver platter. So we look at it kind of like the inverse in our game because we got rid of
really unique world that they're offering here.
With John about
and it releases on September. On September 4th.
You had just enough to know where to go, but not too much.
So I don't know if there's any fans of Hell Is Us, because this isn't the first time that we've seen this game. This has been coming out, sort of showing up quite a bit. But this was a really good look at it. And
she's going to tell you a clue, right? So Rebecca and Jova, when she kind of hints you where they went exactly, but I know they took the road.
I'm just wondering sort of where this game will fall.
And as we're talking to her,
Hell Is Us has a demo right now till the 16th, I think. I would definitely check that out. I love these game demos.
Is that what she's talking about?
I love that we're getting a lot of game demos. So Hell Is Us, they did a pretty good deep dive. That was interesting to see. And I am excited to see more of what this game has to offer as far as gameplay.
So we have grief, ecstasy, terror, and rage.
As far as how it plays, right? And how it differentiates itself from other similar titles. So Hell Is Us continues to impress. This is Whispers in the Fog, We have about 15 minutes left. Whispers in the Fog, this is pre-alpha gameplay, and this is an instance where it's a horror game. Very much gave me Slender vibes. Actually, let's catch up on chat for a little bit here. I've been to Iceland. It's one of my favorite places. I need to go to Iceland. Greedfall 2, there's no longer an action RPG. Greedfall is no longer an action RPG. I haven't played Greedfall 2. I played Greedfall 1, which was good. You'll probably be in the Bronx. I would make sure you go to the Bronx, do Manhattan. If you do visit New York. For me, it's the funniest thing. Living in New York, it's always the funniest thing to me that people come from all around the world to see Times Square and Manhattan and all this stuff, and I loathe going into the city. I go as little as possible because it's dirty and gross, and I hate it. And the tourists, obviously. But I live right next to this major metropolitan, I don't even know what to call it. Marvel? Would some call it a Marvel? Curious if Contraband will show up. If Contraband doesn't make an appearance, so I put Contraband as yes in my predictions video. If Contraband doesn't show up, that game is gone. I'm sorry. That's going to be another Scalebound. It's going to be another Scalebound. It does... Where did it go? It was announced in what, 2021? Was it 3 years ago? 2022 was the reveal, and then nothing. Oh no, it was 2020. I was right. Sorry, 2021. It was June 13th, which makes sense because it would be exact. It's going to almost be for you. So June 13th, 2021. If this game does not show up, it is gone. Done. In the tubes. Which is a shame because the things we were hearing about sounded interesting. But they're still doing fishing over here. Sounded interesting, but it just didn't have a lot going on as far as updates, and I'm curious if this is going to end up to be another Scalebound. Everwild's another one that falls into the same boat. I think Everwild, because of the success that Rare has had with Sea of Thieves, especially since it moved to PlayStation, Everwild is something that I would say, even if Rare takes a long time to develop, they're still making a lot of money from Sea of Thieves, so Microsoft might be saying, hey, listen, like, you guys, take your time with it, make a good game. That's fine. And then you guys are still bringing us in some revenue. Contraband from Avalanche was not doing anything. Avalanche Studios. Damarco's starting to sound like he's from New Jersey. Don't insult me like that. Don't you dare! Joyzy. I was stationed in Iceland. Oh, Jeremy, that actually sounds... Hellhole. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I was going to say, actually, that might be nice. Hey, Cole, welcome as well. Thank you for stopping by, Cole. ZeniMax Starboard. Yes, I think we will finally see... King did a really good video on this. And he had mentioned that he thinks we're going to see Project Kestrel, which is the nickname for the new ZeniMax IP. I think that it is going to be a Starfield MMO. I think they've been working on this for a while. I also think, and I believe, King, you mentioned this in your video as well, that I think that Xbox and Bethesda had thought it would end up a little bit better. Starfield would do a little bit better in terms of popularity and audience than it actually did. So at the time, Starfield and a Starfield MMO might have seemed like a really good idea, especially because of the expansiveness of the world, right? An MMO would have been a perfect opportunity to really flesh a lot of things out that Bethesda simply didn't have time to do, or that it's sort of an extended lore, or it takes place in the future, 100 years after the events of Starfield, whatever the case might be that they go with it. It seems like New York is the hellhole. Oh yeah, New York is Manhattan can be, and I'm allowed to say that New York is a hellhole because I'm from here, so it's okay. But anybody else in my chat can also say that it's a hellhole. But I do think it is time that we see whatever ZeniMax Online is working on. It's been quite a while. We've heard this in the rumors for years and years and years and years. So whether or not it's going to be Starfield MMO is honestly, I think, the more interesting question at this stage versus if we're going to see it. I think it's pretty much a guarantee. Pretty much a guarantee. Especially because what I found interesting was ZeniMax Online switched the way they're doing the DLC and expansions for ESO. So they decided we're going to, for those of you who don't play ESO, and I'm not an ESO player myself, so I apologize if I get this a little wrong, but they did a major expansion per year, I think it was, or maybe like a 1 or 2 per year. And that's why they always had, like, they had one that was Oblivion themed, and they had one that was Skyrim themed, and they had one that was, all different vampires, right? All different themes that they did. And basically now they've switched their structure to do a lot more smaller. And their argument was, we want to be able to provide more content more frequently for players. I think what they're really saying is, we're working on this other thing, and we need to make sure that we have enough people working on that new thing, which would mean that new ZeniMax MMO is about to come. New York State is alright. Listen, there's places like upstate New York is you go up to sort of the Catskill areas, and you hang out near Poughkeepsie area and stuff like that. Gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Xbox is like, you like space, right? Starfield, the loading screens, it's everything everyone hopes for. I really wish Starfield was better. I think I'm nervous for the Elder Scrolls 6 just because, and King Fanman, King, feel free to link your channel if you're still here. If it might sort of get auto blocked because the spam filters. So King Fanman is a longtime friend of the channel. He was the first person I ever collaborated with on YouTube. And he made a really good video recently, part of the Bethesda Brothers podcast. And he had talked about... Oh, I want to share. He had talked about things that we know about Elder Scrolls, and there's some really good things that even I wasn't up to date on. So that's a link to a video. Go bookmark that, save that link, save that video, because there were even things I didn't really remember. And he brought up some interesting things, such as how Todd Howard wanted to tone down the system in Starfield, which, King, I genuinely don't know where you heard this stuff. So there's some really good bits of info in there, but Todd wanted to tone down the leveling from Starfield, but change it from the way it was in Skyrim and build on it more from Skyrim, which that much is common sense, right? To build on what's there in Skyrim. But additionally, it was still going to be simplified. So it wasn't going to be, which is baffling to me, because that is something that when it comes to, you see a lot of the successful RPGs that are coming out, whether it is Expedition 33 or it is Baldur's Gate, and you see how people like to have these more robust point systems and these more intricate leveling up and RPG mechanics as far as building out your character. And to say, no, we're still going to keep it really simple, and we're going to still keep it sort of, and I hate to use this expression, but dumbed down, so to speak. That's upsetting to me. That's upsetting to me. Because you would think that Bethesda would look at the trending games and even now say, all right, let's really think about how we're going to do this, especially with how long it's been. Are you disappointed in the exclusivity loss from both PlayStation? No, why would I be? I want everybody to play games the way they want, right? If I want to play on PC, I want to play on PC, and a lot of people are predicting there's going to be some major Xbox games on PC announcements, which I'm excited about. And honestly, I think PlayStation needs to catch up. I think PlayStation is behind the times. It's about time that they actually started to release their games day and date on PC. Exclusivity. Remember, folks, exclusivity is a marketing joke that is meant to get you to buy into a corporate bunch of hokey pokey. Okay? Remember that. I'm all for brand loyalty, but don't buy into the hokey pokey. You don't need to do that. You're better than that. We're smarter than that. Everyone watching this channel is smarter than that. I think the project was greenlit when ZeniMax such Providence Equity like ESO and Fallout 76, so Starfield MMO would make sense. Yeah, and it's probably going to be King again. Credit to King, so definitely go check out his channel. But he had mentioned that Starborn was a DLC, was a trademark. A lot of people thought maybe that was a Starfield DLC, but it's possible that that's going to be the name of the MMO too. I mean, I still think it could go either way personally. That it could either be Starborn DLC or Starborn the MMO, but if it does turn out to be the MMO, that would be pretty interesting. Don't forget your nemesis, Joey Caps. Oh, Joey! Joey's a swell guy. Joey's delightful. Joey, every time I start posting, I'll get a text message from Joey, and he's just like, "Hey man, this is going great. Like, this is awesome." I'm like, thanks, Joey. Joey's really nice. King, you, me, and Joey need to get together to do just an Elder Scrolls something related. We'll do it on your channel, my channel. I don't care. But how long till Rockstar releases day and date on PC? Never. Next. Never. They know that you're gonna go off and buy it twice. They're not silly. They're not stupid. Look, if Rockstar has, it's insane to me. It's insane to me the amount of hype and excitement that Rockstar gets behind their games, where it just feels as though whenever a Rockstar title is about to get released or is upcoming, or they release trailers, that unanimously the entire gaming community is saying, I'm buying this. I don't know. I like Rockstar games. I think Grand Theft Auto's fun. I think that Red Dead Redemption 2, even though I've never beaten it, is fun. But that much universal praise still baffles me when it comes to Rockstar. They put a ton of work into their games. I'm not saying I don't get it. I know I've said that in the past, but I do get it. What I've meant to say is it still just surprises me every single time. It still surprises me every time. Because Rockstar is one of those studios that they are able to innovate in really cool ways. They know how to focus on the details that matter, and I think that's largely a result of they've built up. Like, when you play a Rockstar game, you know what you're getting. And it's, whether you're playing Red Dead Redemption or you're playing Grand Theft Auto, you know the feel, you know the tone, you know the style, right? You know how it's going to control. When you get the controller in your hand and you're sitting there playing, you know what you're getting with Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead. And that has allowed them to say, okay, we know what this is. We need to focus on a couple things. How do we make this really damn cool, right? It's the complete opposite of the state Bethesda's in. Bethesda's in a state, it seems to me, that Bethesda's in a state where they're going, what's our identity? Like, how do we make a Bethesda game? What do fans want? What do they want? They want less RPG mechanics? No, they want more storytelling. No, they don't want storytelling. They want more of this, right? And they're trying out all these ideas. They want vehicles. We need vehicles in Starfield. We need We need boats in Elder Scrolls 6. And the settlement, they like the settlement building. Put the settlement building. Bethesda's figuring it out, and they're going through a bit of this identity crisis. You play a Rockstar game, and they go, this is what the game is. This is what people like when they sit down and they go to play Grand Theft Auto. So how do we make this even more badass? Right? How do we make this even cool? What little details do we put in that make it seem cooler? Whether it is a fizzle in a beer bottle or the conversations that NPCs have or any of this stuff. Right? Any of that. And that's the beauty of Rockstar. And I really hope that Bethesda, with coming back to Elder Scrolls, kind of figures that out. And again, I'm not expecting anything from Elder Scrolls 6 in this showcase. I know some people are. I would like to start up a rivalry with Maddie to see who is ultimately right. And I have to apologize actually to Juicehead because I said that he thinks it's going to be there. I misquoted him, which I'm not happy about because I usually like to think that I'm pretty diligent. And he said he thinks it's 50-50, but I interpreted some of his quotes as he thought it was going to be there. Their games influence pop culture, most of them. Yeah, they're huge. They're huge. The only time that I normally see Rockstar fail is the remastered. And that's because it's not a passion project, I think, right? I mean, not that they're not passionate about the remasters, but that they're they're more, I think a lot of studios, to be honest, are just more interested in building something new rather than saying, okay, let's go back to this. And I think that's just a creative thing, right? We have an innate desire to move forward, to continue to, those games were great. And that's sort of the Todd Howard mentality is like Oblivion was great. Skyrim was great. I mean, he re-released Skyrim 8 times, but Morrowind was great. But we're doing Elder Scrolls 6 now. And I like the Todd Howard mentality in that regard. Expedition 33 is phenomenal. So yeah, King, let's do it. Expedition 33 is phenomenal. I'm in the epilogue, but I've heard that there's an insane amount more at the epilogue part. I thought that you get to the epilogue, and then I thought that it was going to be like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I thought it was like, okay, here's your objective. They say, go do this thing. And then I thought that was going to be the end of the game, but I was talking to some friends last night, and it seems like there's still this whole other thing that's going to go on with Expedition. I did just buy an Expedition 33 shirt because I love that game so much. And I wanted to get a big flag for the wall behind. There's a big, but it was $40 for a flag. I couldn't justify spending $40 on a flag. But like a huge, because I don't have anything for this wall, and I have no idea what I'm going to be putting up on this wall. So there's that. We have 20 seconds left. Tainted Grail did great job. Old Man, welcome if I didn't say hello. MC, welcome as well. Tainted Grail I have to play more of, but I really liked it. I have phenomenal first impressions. Alright, let's get this sucker up. What do we open with? A game without a rating. Curious start. Oh, this is just for all their games. Okay, never mind. I apologize. Don't jump to conclusions. Get your tea ready, ladies and gentlemen. Absinthe and tea, not sponsored. Makes sense. Outer Worlds 2.
Do you think I care that the colony is in disarray? We didn't come to Arcadia to get bogged down in pointless warfare. We came to spread freedom and liberate resources for profit. But this pesky Earth Directorate agent is mucking things up. They're not alone in doing so. And they think they can just choose how things play out. They could stop us from stealing the Protectorate's brainwashing technology.
This is cool.
Which we need to improve our market share. What if this stranger aligned with the Order and that world computer of theirs? That could be the key to closing the rifts that threaten the colonies. So, you see why this menace must be wiped from the face of existence. Or, better yet, brought to our side through the power of capitalism.
This looks really good.
Now, let's get out there and buy our way to victory!
I'm yearning and yearning for you.
This gives huge Fallout vibes.
Save is intended for you.
I'm into it.
Although the cost may be high, one day
You get super giant
you'll be mine.
Ant-Man.
Someday perhaps I'll own two. For now I'll take one that's brand new. 'Cause I'm
Third person mode?
yearning for you. For two.
Avowed had third person, so
An adventure made for capitalism by capitalism. Inflate our impressions and egos by staying tuned after the showcase.
Obsidian has always done such a. They've always done good with humor when it comes to the Outer Worlds too. I've laughed at every single thing they've put out.
World premiere.
Every single thing. Shrink Gun's back. Hell yeah. it
Babe,
is.
what's wrong?
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
You
Same.
know, it would fix everything. Humanzapro.
Oh, High on Life! Sequel? Damn, I didn't think this was getting another game. Wow. Go, turtle, go. Ooh, you're a handsome one. And you guys too.
Yeah, humans are barely sentient. Scientists have done studies, and their brains are like half the size of ours.
High on Life 2. Interesting. This winter. Xbox PC. Damn, I was wondering, because that, obviously everything going on with Justin Roiland, right? So that was his studio.
World premiere.
I figured that their games, like, they would just work on something entirely new. Well, it's not Avowed. Anybody thought it might have been. What is this? Resonance. A Plague Tale. Whoa! Whoa! What? They're doing medieval Plague Tale. Well, I mean, Ancient Rome Plague Tale? That's super interesting. Welcome, David. Wonder Woman's gone. Wonder Woman's gone. Roy's Fry's son of Rome 2 daughter. Xbox handheld. Wow, they did do it! No way! Wait, so were all of those delay rumors just wrong then? All those insider? I like it when insiders are wrong. Because I hate leaks. The Xbox handheld is delayed. I thought the Xbox handheld was the ROG though. Like I thought it was one and the same. ROG Ally X. ROG Ally.
At
They
Xbox,
did get me.
We strive to put the player first. And that's what you've seen from us over the years.
All right.
We've led the
Xbox
industry with
handheld's still
backward
delayed.
compatibility. We championed crossplay and cross-progression. We delivered Game Pass, first on console, then on PC, and with cloud gaming. So what's next? How can we give you even more freedom, more choice, more ways to play? Our next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device. The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect. And
Yeah,
the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year. In fact,
So this
every
is-
new game you see in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally. We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox on any screen. That's why we're investing in Xbox Play Anywhere. Whether you're playing on console, PC, smart TV, or any Windows handheld
This
like the new
is-
Xbox Ally, the Xbox experience roams with you.
This
Your
is
library,
Xbox's.
progression,
This is the
friends, and
future
achievements.
of Xbox.
There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games
This is what they
on
want.
Xbox today. And every new game you see in today's show, from our partners and our studios, is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox, you can always have access to Game Pass with a diverse lineup of games from the biggest franchises
You get
to
Game
critically
Pass.
acclaimed indie hits.
Game Pass
This
is on the
is
go.
the freedom we believe players should have.
But you have a
Any game,
unified
anywhere, and we are giving it our all
selection of
every
games.
day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox to Armored Core 6, our relationship with Bandai Namco Entertainment has stood the test of time. We both believe in bringing amazing experiences to players around the world, and their next game does exactly that. From Rebel Wolf Studio, this is a story-rich
Okay.
action RPG steeped in dark
I
fantasy
thought this would be at
that
Summer
I
Games
can't
Fest.
Wait for you to explore. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Well done, Sarah. Well done, Sarah. That is what they want. They want to have, no matter where you play, and being able to do Steam, Epic, GOG, ROG Ally. That was the most beautiful partnership they could have possibly had. The most beautiful partnership, and it's what's going to set Xbox ahead. When everyone says Xbox is dead, it's not. They're building their future.
Been here, watching from the shadows. And when we were at our weakest, they came out into the light. We feared for our lives. But we should have feared for our souls instead. The vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule. to turn us into mindless, docile cattle. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them.
Nice.
But I became something else instead. Their worst nightmare.
Ooh. Blade is shaking right now.
A Dawnwalker. Trapped between the two worlds. Fighting to even the score. Fighting to understand.
I like the Witcher like music.
He is out there watching, seeping into you, growing.
2026. All right. Very cool. I like the Witcher like music. It's from the Witcher devs after all. So that makes sense. To go with the same theme. Looks very, very cool. Only the conversion of Xbox game. But having all the Epic, Steam, GOG, and the Xbox Store all on a system, that's already possible. I thought that was something that they were building to. And I apologize if I'm just that out the loop. I don't own any handhelds. I don't. That was already there. Oh, okay. Mario? Super Meat Boy? Whoa! Super Meat Boy 3D. This looks really cool. Go, little meat boy!
Super Meat Boy 3D!
Early 2026. Hey, Sabuki, what did I miss? Blood of the Dawnwalker and a really good Outer Worlds trailer were the two bigger ones, I guess, so far.
Watch your back, Yakumo. You're a wanted criminal now.
I'll kill the Dark Dragon myself. It's my mission. My duty as a Raven Ninja.
Okay.
Breaking the Dark Dragon free has its consequences.
Ninja Gaiden 4.
This is it.
Sayori.
Ryu, there's something I need your help with.
Sorry, chat, not a Ninja Gaiden player. Xbox showed Dawnwalker better than Summer Games Fest. That was a really good showing of Blood of Dawnwalker, yeah. A really good showing of it. It's interesting that they got two vampire hunting games between Blade and Blood of the Dawnwalker, but both obviously going to play very uniquely from one another. And I honestly hope that
The Dark Dragon is mine.
I really hope that if Blood of the Dawnwalker does well, that people then look at Blade from Arcane and go, hey, that's another thing. That's a cool concept. Like, we already, because obviously Blade is vampire hunting vampires. Or is it Daywalker? Bethesda! Order of Giants! Where are we going with Indiana Jones next? This was such a good game.
Here we go.
Good luck, Indy.
doing, Jones? Are you crazy?
Yay! DLC. That's a prediction, correct?
This is where it starts. Beneath the streets of Rome. Enter the city of Antioch. Find a secret relic. Bring it back to the Holy See. Defend the secret. They worshipped the giants.
Templars. Okay, release date. September 4th! Hey, it's later this year! Awesome. Very cool. Indiana Jones, it doesn't matter what they do for expansions, it's just gonna obviously be story focused. And Machine Games is phenomenal at storytelling in their games, so I look at story trailer for Indiana Jones and I go, okay, I buy. That's my mentality for Game Freak. Hello. Ooh, that was flashy.
西暦4026年、人類は滅亡を待つのみ。
Lots of samurai games. Samurais are popular right now. Beast of Reincarnation from Game Freak.
風之後エマ、お前こそが輪廻の獣を滅ぼす刃となる。
Alright, another Souls-like coming 2026.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood.
I'm sorry, I have to turn those off. Thank you.
The glittering
Saboki.
streets of Avalon sure do shine.
Hey!
Because they suit
This
their
is Clockwork,
filth down
right?
to us.
Yeah, Clockwork. Nice! Okay! 2 predictions right.
Here's to playing in the mud. Life here ain't for the soft-hearted.
This is thanks to you,
will
King.
Be paying me back until you fucking rust. It ain't for the spineless.
Keep your filthy pickers off me!
And it sure as shite ain't for the decent.
That's a clean sweep for one.
There has been a crime! Justice itself has been affronted! I have been baffled!
Lord Griswick.
Bertolt!
Yes, I got that part. Do you know anyone who might wish you ill? We can't arrest and question everyone. Let's see if we can narrow the suspects down a bit.
They were,
Trust your instincts, sir.
tall,
Yes, sir.
built rather slim, well, muscular.
Mm-hmm.
Was very quick, agile.
Go on.
With a mustache. No, larger.
Oh, that's a cool character creation.
That's the fiend who robbed me.
They got my good side this time. Breaking in is the easy part.
That was clever.
Your brandy, sir. Getting away with it is the real trick.
These candlesticks ain't gold. Worthless and dull, just like you. Nah, I have a customer. How can I help you?
I'd rather talk to you, Errol. Sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me first, and him never.
I like
Got it?
Uncle's a bit touchy, ain't he, Errol?
Touchy? I say I'm touchy! There. Anything else you'd care to say to Errol? Brains. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
I'm into it.
It's all sharp edges, empty pockets.
I'm so into this.
And blood on the cobbles. Goodbye, Silas.
No, no! I'll hurt you, you fucking meatsack! I'll leave you with a pissing bed of peaches!
You've either got a gang at your back, or a knife in it.
We're family here. Family takes care of its own.
Can't put a price on that, can you?
Them's in charge. They don't keep order. They keep power.
Take this thing into the crucible and melt it.
Holy crap, this looks so damn good!
Broken and too scared to fight back.
The world looks cool. The performances are amazing.
And well armed.
Weapon customization, dialogue options, character creation.
Let's go and end a few arguments.
And they haven't bloody touched the time travel stuff. The gadgets look cool.
Don't get cocky. They've got a weapon far worse. Time.
There we go.
And if they can rewrite history, they can rewrite us. But look who just found Mummy's keys. Now I can fiddle with time. Put the bullet back in the barrel.
What?
Bring the chaos to a crawl. Take a mistake and make it like it never happened.
Really cool way to do respawning.
We can change the world as we know it. One choice at a time. And I can even go back and change the past. To change the future.
Show like 5 of those.
Let me tell ya, the hunters don't like it when the rabbits got the gun.
In Exile cooked! In Exile has been cooking! Now just give us a release date. Release date. Come on. Oh.
Leave me alone and piss off.
Come on.
Our creative teams
God
are dedicated
dang
to bringing
it.
players award-winning, record-breaking, critically acclaimed
That
games.
looked
Call
so
of Duty, Black
good.
Ops 6 from Activision, Doom,
In
The Dark
Exile.
Ages from Bethesda, Diablo 4,
Wow.
Vessel of Hatred from Blizzard.
Story-driven, choice
from
and
Xbox
consequence,
Game
cool
Studios.
gadgets,
All of our
Bioshock-like,
teams
changing
across
time,
Xbox
choice and
first
consequence, if I already
party
said
are
that.
shipping their
Character
most played
customization,
games ever,
story-driven.
and they're also delivering more
That
content
is
than ever
my
before.
game.
From
Like,
original
everything about
to vast
it's my kind of
online
game.
worlds, our teams
Looked
are
a little bit more
empowered
linear,
to build
too.
the games they've always dreamed of. We want our players to have the choice and flexibility.
Oh, that
of
looks
where
so
and
good.
how
That
they
looks
play the
so
games our teams
good.
make. So of course, our
Oh,
games will be
my
available
God.
day one in Game Pass, and every new game we make for both Xbox consoles and PC will be Xbox Play Anywhere. On behalf of our creative teams,
Everything's coming to
thank
Game
you.
Pass.
These experiences don't stop when you put down the controller. As you've seen in recent years, more and more of our characters, stories, and worlds are expanding to brand new audiences through TV and film. A Minecraft movie and the Fallout TV series broke records and brought millions of
The
players
Minecraft
into
movie
the game.
was garbage.
We have more projects in the works.
It
as
was good
gaming
for the
continues
memes.
to influence film and television like never before.
But that was terrible.
When it comes to growing new franchises,
And they're not gonna learn
Obsidian
any of the
is
right
having a year like no other. From
lessons
launching
from
a
the Minecraft
blockbuster
movie.
new game like Avowed to the upcoming release of The Outer Worlds 2 this October.
How does Obsidian do it?
Obsidian is always delivering great games.
How?
And
How?
They have a
What
third
if they
game
figured out that
launching
other teams
this
can't?
year. You'll get to go deeper on it in our direct. But until then, let's take a look.
Avowed, Grounded, Outer Worlds 2. Probably a ground. They probably have like 3 other projects that they're doing also simultaneously. I don't understand.
I told you, you can't run from me, you foul beast! With new flexible legs, the yoke girth action figure can ride anything!
That's what I used to look like when I was younger.
Breaking news. There's
my
been
goal
an
aesthetic.
explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will and left to fight for their survival
Grounded
in the
2.
backyard of a deranged scientist. Formerly evil company Eminent Practical Technologies was set to dedicate a statue of the 4 teenagers, fast food science robot Burgle, and Dr. Tully when an explosion erupted. Dr. Tully and the teenagers' current whereabouts are also unknown.
You gotta keep them separated.
They literally... They just launched Avowed, and then they have a sequel to Grounded, and they're also doing the Outer Worlds. Obsidian... Obsidian is just a different kind of animal. And this looks really cool too. Grounded 2. July? In a month? What? I know it's game preview, so it's like early access, but Obsidian!
The predecessor, ND3500, reached. Accessing predecessor's travel log. Attempting data salvage.
Bluebird.
I have encountered an unprecedented orphan. It was in a state of suppressed recomposition.
The behavior pattern of the orphans populating the area
Oh, I know what this is.
is highly unusual.
Chronos, you don't? No.
They become exceptionally aggressive.
It is highly recommended to proceed with caution.
Chronos is on, yeah.
They seem to act more consistently, in coordination.
Destroying the nest is now a priority.
Looks very cool. Bluebird's always that.
Such is our calling.
Bluebird's always that studio that they release good games that just never seem to reach, you know, wider markets. And every game that they release, I always hope, I'm like, I hope this is the one. Because they make good games. Bethesda! That one looks really good. Chronos looks really, really good. I like the Dead Space vibes. Elder Scrolls Online. Whatever ESO's new expansion is. Okay, alright, listen. Microsoft, Xbox. Elder Scrolls has some of the best fantasy music in all of fantasy games. ESO's music is also really good. You don't need this. Turn this nonsense off. I hate when the marketing teams do this. Is there volleyball in the Elder Scrolls Online? Really? I'm not saying it's not a good I'm not saying it's not a good song, but like, this is Elder Scrolls. You don't need this in Elder Scrolls. I'm sorry. You have like I said, a wealth of the best, some of the best fantasy music at your disposal. You don't need to do this. Make some fun tavern music, right? Have it like a bard. I don't know. But ESO is a really good MMO. If you wanted to try an MMO, I would recommend taking a look at it. I don't have time for MMOs, but if I did, I would be in it.
Mayday! Mayday! Code 1 to mission control, we're falling! Thomas, the ship's breaking apart! There's no time! Evacuate! Now! Thomas, come in!
Ariane, you sacrificed everything for a new world, to save mankind. And I'll always love you for that.
Okay. What do you got cooking? This is a good song. This is the Exodus prequel. Looks cool. I have a really big soft spot for these sort of like these games where you're playing as somebody that's lost and just traveling on their own and trying to survive.
Thomas, wherever you are,
Aphelion.
I'll find you.
I have a soft spot for the types of games such as that. You think like an Inside, Jusant. Oh. ESA, European Space Agency. Yeah, Jusant, Inside. What was the recent one I played? Planet of Lana. Those sorts of games. I like them. It's a good show so far.
Welcome to England, Mr. David. I know this must be a shock, having never met your real father. But
very
he left you
diverse.
this hotel in his will. It's been in your family for generations. Much like the caretaker. He's a little eccentric. You'll see.
Let me welcome you to the Grail, a hotel famous across the land.
The Grand Budapest Hotel?
Every room used to be in such high demand. Your wish I'll command here at the Grail.
Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations.
Well,
Would you
hello
like
there.
some help with that?
I would love some help with that. Can you tell me what this game is, please? I have no idea what I'm looking at.
So, my father was renovating the hotel when he disappeared?
This is the Blueprints prequel.
He was helping the entire village. You have his power tools. You know, you could pick up where he left off. You seem like a good man, like he was.
I'm in. They don't suspect a thing.
Just make sure the locals don't get wind of what you're really up to. Because if they find out, they will wicker man your ass.
You keep looking into things, and things are gonna start looking back. Don't make the same mistake your father made.
Okay, I'm in.
In this place, the only one you can really trust is me.
Alright. I had no idea what we were going for, but I am pleasantly intrigued. There are no ghosts at the Grand, coming in 2026. Xbox and Steam. That looked really fun, actually. Very intriguing. Halo. No.
There are as many gods in the world as there are stars in the heavens. And when we need their help, they send us a hero. Who would have guessed the defender of my homeland could be my daughter?
She unlocked the heavenly spear, but is she worthy?
Oh, shoot. Age of Mythology expansion? Yeah, Age of Mythology. That's super cool that they redid this. 65 million players? Really? I didn't know it was that popular. I'm gonna be honest, I really thought I was sort of in this minority group that liked Age of Mythology. I didn't know that it did so well they're going to release a new civilization for it. Age of Mythology is great, and it has multiplayer, so I would hop into Age of Mythology with some of you watching. If I have time. That's usually the issue.
주권 국가의 자주적 결정을 누가 허락하는가? 만약 이 결정이 패권 국가의 특정 정치 집단의 이익을 저해한다면 당신의 특정 행동이 대중의 의사결정에 영향을 미칠 수 있으며 반대로 누군가는 당신의 의사결정에 영향을 주려 한다는 것을 인지할 때 자신만의 온전한 입장을 세울 수 있지 않을까? 당신의 입장은 온전한 본인의 판단인가? 그렇게 믿고 있거나 믿고 싶을 뿐.
Oh, okay. Okay.
당신은 무엇 때문에 분노하는가? 당신의 분노는 스스로 결정한 것인가?
와우.
누군가 당신의 분노를 이용한다.
Like Cyberpunk meets Resident Evil meets
이정태.
Solid Snake? Mudang, 2 hearts. 2026. Steam, Epic, PS5. So that's that one explicitly said PS5, but some of the others didn't. So lots of timed exclusives. Got to keep an eye out for that a little bit closer, I guess. Planet of Lana 2! Yay! Oh, I have the whole, I think I did this whole game on stream. Oh, this was such a beautiful game. Mui!
Dia novo tu alibemo iwa lotaname. Ona otalima diefemo. Teonami.
Oh, this was so pretty.
Toma tu acalio terali.
Yay! More secrets! 2026. This was a really cool world, too. It was really, really interesting. The puzzles were a bit simple, but there looks to be a lot of different ones already. Don't you hurt Mui. Don't you dare hurt Mui. Children of the Leaf. Planet of Lana was a really, really good game. A really nice PS5, PS4. They're still making PS4? I mean, it makes sense for that kind of game, but wow. It was simple. Fark, it was also welcome, by the way. It was simple, but it was really, really well done. I liked it a lot.
Well,
King,
hello
this one's for
there.
you.
Beautiful day to relax by the old
And you,
fishing
Holly.
hole, wouldn't you say? When it comes to fishing, Appalachia is a land aswim with opportunity.
So, what are you
Yes,
big in
you'll
Falls
find
06?
fish of all flavors in every walk of waterway, from its mightiest of rivers to its humblest of ponds. Just step up to the bank, cast your line, and when your bobber starts bobbing, reel in the rewards.
Oh, wow.
What do you got on there, Jeff?
Okay.
Worms. And how are they biting today?
See for yourself.
Bagging the big fish starts with finding the right tools for the job. There are as many unique combinations of rods, reels, bobbers, and baits as there are fish in the sea. And when you've caught your fill, pop over to the local tackle shop to swap fish tails. Can you smell that? No matter what troubles plague the future wastelands of Appalachia, you can always find comfort in cozy little joys like this. You just gotta know where to look. Vault Life is your ticket to easy living. Design and build your own little slice of paradise. A place to show off all the bits and bobs you collect in your travels. Got a green thumb? Plant your own peaceful vegetable garden. And nothing warms the heart
This
like
is
a
a
neighborhood
great
cookout.
use of the
community makes
settlement
a
system.
wasteland a waste home. Join today, and tomorrow you'll be kicking back and sharing
You
a meal
don't
with
necessarily
friends
need it in
beautiful
every Bethesda
Appalachia.
game forever. And they're going to put it in Elder Scrolls 6. There's going to be some kind of like city management system. Which is cool. Like, that's something I've always wanted to sort of see, and there's some mods that do that.
World premiere.
Such as Helgen Reborn. But you're that thing from... That's from Expedition 33! That's the thing from Expedition! Solo leveling. I never watched solo leveling. But I know it's very popular. I don't doubt it, Jonas, yeah. Problem is finding someone to play it with. Unless Arcane is also really excited, then he's gonna have someone right away. Okay. I'm gonna lower this just a bit. Out of curiosity, everybody, how are we feeling so far? How are we feeling? I think it's a really great showcase in regards to the diversity of projects. Clockwork Revolution was phenomenal.
World premiere.
Okay. Great show. I agree, old man. Okay. Sorry, this is definitely not my type of game. Pretty decent, great show. It's been a good one. Xbox got the solo leveling gotcha game. Still room for text. Bim, Bim, Bim. Don't get your hopes up, Bim. Don't do it. I said no. I know that it's very 50-50 where the split is. It has, I think they said it had 512 gigabyte storage, so I'm assuming you can download directly and play native. Yeah, you could download. Yeah, I think for me so far the highlights, Chronos New Dawn, Blood of the Dawnwalker, Clockwork Revolution was a fantastic showing. I need to go back and play and finish the Outer Worlds because Outer Worlds 2 looks like it. There was one trailer they had where they said, we're going to do everything but better, like the way it was meant to be in one of their trailers. And everything from the Outer Worlds looks to be that.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I just want to say thanks to everyone for all the love and support we've seen.
Hi, Tony.
We announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 a few months ago. These games have changed my life. But more than that, I've seen them help spread a love and appreciation for skating all over the world. And that means everything to me and the team. I can't wait for you all to experience the game. It's been rebuilt with so much care and attention to detail, with some brand
I'd
new
rather
parts,
get, if they're the
new
same
music,
price as the Switch
new
2,
skaters,
Chris, I'd
and
rather
more.
get
And
the
you can enjoy it all
ROG,
with your
because the
friends
ROG
with up
I
to
could
8
play
players
Steam
in
games, Epic
multiplayer.
games,
Tony Hawk's
GOG
Pro Skater
games,
3 and 4
and
officially drops
Xbox
July
games,
11th.
and also have
We have a
Game
lot
Pass,
more
and I'm not
surprises
just
to
locked
come.
to
Check out the launch
whatever
trailer
Nintendo
now.
Switch puts on their hardware. That was the whole thing, that, like, during the Summer Games Fest, where Sonic Kart Racing came out, and they're like, oh, but you could actually play with everybody. Right? That was the whole, they were completely taking shots at, and I don't need to worry about having no clue what my games are going to cost. Like $80, I mean, we're in an uncertain market at the moment, but I don't have to worry about just, Mario Kart's going to be $80, and it doesn't really look that great, if I'm being honest. The new one. And then you still have to pay for online, which I don't need to do on PC, and I'm assuming on the ROG, you don't have to pay for online for ROG. I don't want to have to subscribe to an online membership. I wish they would do Tony Hawk's Underground. Oh! Everything gets crossover these days. Fortnite has really changed the industry. This is a good crossover, though. 4. Cool. Oh god. That's kind of funny. There you go, Holly. Now you have to play Tony Hawk because Doom Guy's in it. On a chainsaw skateboard.
World premiere.
Cool. Spiritfarer was really good. There was a game that came out ages ago at this point called Child of Light. And I really, it's never gonna happen, but I really would love if that game had an opportunity to see a sequel. Or just in that style again. Everything looked like a watercolor painting in that game. It was really cool. And the music was absolutely phenomenal in it as well. Ooh, that looks cool. Stop acting like bah. At Fate's End. Really interesting concept, blending card mechanics with a side scroll, a 2D fighter. It's really interesting. Halo. Gears of War. Hello. You're in trouble. This was already announced, right? This is the remaster of the remaster. That was very confusing. PlayStation announcement. Gotcha.
Look who decided to show up.
Very cool. Awesome. Good job, Microsoft. Fighting to end the stupidity that is exclusivity.
Looks like they upgraded.
60 FPS campaign, but 120 multiplayer. Interesting. I've never played a Gears of War game before.
Let's do this. This is gonna be awesome.
King, thank you so much for stopping by. It was a pleasure to have you, King. I hope you're doing well. And I'm glad to see you making content again. It's really great to see you online. Everybody, please check out King's channel. He's really, really one of a kind. Amazing. Amazing person.
World premiere.
Alright. You're starting to lose me a bit, Microsoft. Starting to lose me a bit. Yeah, this ain't helping either. Persona 4 Revival. Is that a remaster?
The Smugglers League is always
Sea of Thieves.
there. But you won't see us.
This
You
is just a
won't
guarantee
hear
at every
us.
showcase, right? I want to play more Sea of
And
Thieves.
the
It is a
only
fun
way
game
you'd
to get
ever
lost
know
in.
it is if that's what we wanted.
40 years.
As smugglers, we deal in the goods others are afraid to handle. Guns, explosives.
And don't forget the rum.
It's a life of danger like no other. So I guess my question is, can you handle that?
Nobody, I don't think...
On gold is one thing, but you should know that this is what we're really after. The bigger the boom, the better.
I don't think anybody
Smugglers
thought Sea
need
of
to be
Thieves would get this big.
adaptable. It's more than moving under moonlight and shadows. You should be ready to take advantage of others' misfortune.
Longer
Stealing, of course,
voyages.
is always an option. Just do whatever it takes to get the job done. You are pirates, after all.
Welcome, my friends, to the Smugglers League. You're paying for that.
Season 17. I don't think anybody ever expected Sea of Thieves would... August. Nice. Would blow up as much as it did, as it has. But credit to that game, because it is a lot of fun.
World premiere.
Oh.
This is ridiculous.
Is this Dispatch?
Jeez, come on.
Ooh. It is Dispatch. Oh, shoot, no!
No, Dad, not even close.
What kind of... Oh, God, invincible.
I hoped you'd understand why I had to do this. Accept our rule or die.
Hey, Adam Eve.
Propose a third option.
Explode?
I'm not your son anymore. I'm the
Oh, is it just a... Is it a fighting game?
You off this planet for good. I'm...
Okay, it's like Injustice with Invincible. Oh. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I thought it was going to be like a Superman style. Tag fighting. It is a prime style of game for Invincible.
Yeah, how you like this? It's an army.
I am ending you. I see it all now.
It almost looks like it Injustice though, doesn't it? Like these all look like the ultimates that you might get, unless they're just finishers. Invincibles versus 2026, PS5, Xbox. Okay, that is a really cool 3D cinematic 2D gameplay. Yeah. It's oh, Square Enix. Nothing, Final Fantasy... I was gonna say 9, 7. I don't know my Final Fantasy games.
I'm here to even the odds. Any
Sorry.
objections?
Know your place, little lamb. There's no one to save you now.
You will answer for what you've done. Our flames are our own, and they burn as one.
I remember you making that comment, Jonas. When is the actual Final Fantasy? When are they going to have the Final Fantasy?
Valencia cannot endure a second claim of
16.
being, but she may yet be saved.
They've had 16 Final Fantasies. It's not very final of them. Available today. Hey! Anybody who wanted your Shadow drop? You got Final Fantasy on Xbox. Is that like the first time it's coming to Xbox?
World premiere.
Final Fantasy. Double Fine! I am not a huge Double Fine fan. I'm sorry. Their games always look intriguing. Interesting. I see Lighthouse. I think Bioshock and Evil Within. Keeper. October 17th this year. Nice. Excellent. Double Fine always makes some really cool looking games. So that one seems no different.
Games like Psychonauts 2 showed how Double Fine excels
It's been a while,
at creating
Phil.
unique and innovative experiences, and Keeper is no exception. Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the
definitely
platform
lost some
and
weight.
franchises that you helped build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises,
I wonder
I'm
if it's,
excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Today, you've seen an incredible range of games from creators across the globe. Creators like
Is
In
that the
Exile,
show? Yep, that's
reaching
gonna be
for
the show, I
new
guess.
heights with Clockwork Revolution.
Yeah.
Sluggerfly making Team Meat's modern classic platformer into 3D. Square Enix bringing more of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy franchise to our players. And Team Ninja returning to the beloved series they debuted on Xbox.
Pretty good.
You've also seen the next Xbox hardware release, our Xbox Ally handheld, which lets you bring your Xbox experience and your library with you anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the breadth and depth of the games, updates, and experiences.
Very
that are coming
diverse
to
lineup of
Xbox
games.
from our partners and our own
Very
creative
diverse.
teams.
I wonder if he's
We're
like
seeing
on Ozempic
more
or something.
players on our
Because a lot of people are
platform
commenting
and in
that
our
he
games
doesn't
than
look great.
ever.
And
Thanks
I
to
mean, he
all
looks
of
fine
you.
here to me.
We're
Looks like he lost
proud
weight.
of the creativity that Obsidian is delivering this year. Immediately after Showcase, our Direct begins, where you'll go inside the studio for an extended look at the Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2. Thanks for joining us today. But before we get into the Direct, we have a final world premiere. Enjoy.
World premiere.
It's definitely not Elder Scrolls. Not with a butterfly going around. Yeah.
Welcome to the guild.
Told you.
We have been expecting you.
Told you it wasn't gonna be here.
Please, follow me. You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team, is designed to save lives.
No Everwild.
Your years of service have
And no
shown
contraband.
the importance of our work. Here, you'll witness the global scope of that mission in action. Let me introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
For too long, we have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow, now. We are pioneering the future of protection worldwide. Our advancements are designed to elevate everyday
Is
life,
it Perfect Dark?
reshaping the future of technology on a
Is that a stupid comment?
I'm Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild.
Yeah, that was a stupid comment. Sorry. I feel stupid for having thought it.
Fear is a powerful thing. David Mason.
Menendez.
Call of Duty. The next Call of Duty. Black Ops 7. Okay. Cool, I guess. I know, Holly, you're gonna be really excited. I'm sorry, I don't, like, it's Call of Duty, so. You know, Call of Duty's Call of Duty. You know what you're getting. That was not the way to end it, I don't think. I would have ended it on Clockwork, if I'm being honest. I would have ended it on Clockwork. Was that Transit Zombies? I would like Transit Zombies. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I don't know. It's...
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. We here at the studio have joked around that this has been the year of Obsidian, with Avowed releasing early this year and now ending the year with 2 more games. And what better way to cap this incredible year for us than by doing what our studio does best, sequels.
That's where I come in. You can get out of here, Fergus. Thank you so much. No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise. Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no raccoon tail. No sequel, no Zune 2. Which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was? There was a Zune 2? I'm Mark, the head of sequels here at Obsidian, and I have sequelized everything. Blockbuster movies to AAA video games to my first marriage, so trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
They got humor. They really have got humor.
Let the killing commence.
You're buying Outer Worlds? God, it's less than 110 gigabytes. No, good luck with that.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's a continuation of the themes of robber barons in space and how people are controlled by the stories they're told by the people who have power over them. This time we're able to go a lot deeper because we have more time and money, which is a great thing, and we're able to make it a much more true Obsidian reactive RPG than we were the first time around.
We have more time and money. Meanwhile, we're developing 2 other things simultaneously, and one thing we haven't told you about.
We're going deeper and more complex with everything for this sequel. Deeper story, lore, RPG interactions, reactivity, all the things we've been known for as a company. It's really a complete realization of everything people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over 25 years that I've had the chance to do a full sequel for a world that I helped co-create.
Saying
it's really
all
just
the right
a
things.
Opportunity to explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of playstyle that you like, this is just an awesome franchise and an awesome game to jump into, even if it's your first one.
The first Outer Worlds was a great base to start from, as it has all the elements of a great Obsidian RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices. In the Outer Worlds 2, not only did we want to double down on those elements, but we wanted to give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
Big brain, Obsidian! Big brain! Abilities outside of combat?
And building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out to create. We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds and combos so players can express their role-playing power fantasies. We also have different equipment
Bongani,
options
thanks for
play styles,
stopping by. I appreciate that.
And different companions with different abilities.
Savoki, next year we have more of a chance than this year. I said it wasn't going to be this year. I said it wasn't going to be.
In the first Outer Worlds, you start off as the Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're gonna be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your background, one of the really important choices you have next is choosing your traits. While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds 2, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick.
Okay.
So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points. And that's obviously really great if that's how you want to build your character. You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back Dumb, so players love the Dumb option.
Tell me, do you believe in signs?
It's a lot of dialogue options.
Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventurous spirit to good use.
You get like lots of really cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. Could be something as simple as banging on a machine to get it to work. After you've invested in some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills.
Yeah,
skills
Joey,
themselves basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty.
Like everything here is just an improvement on the first.
Throughout your entire journey, your character continues to change with the different choices you make. In the Outer Worlds 1, actually had more skills than we have, so we condensed them down to really the core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each skill. And again, all these things, because of how they're checked inside the world itself, can matter quite a bit. You know, just even having one additional skill point in something can open up a lot more options in the world itself.
Awesome.
If anybody's played Fallout New Vegas, they'll be very familiar with like the perk system. We basically borrowed that, but went even grander. We actually have more perks than Fallout New Vegas did. But here's the cool thing, right? We check and use perks for literally everything, right? So you can do everything from, hey, I want to make a stealthy build that steals stuff and is really good at that. Okay, great. Well, you can take maybe the pickpocketing perk. So that's not available to everybody, but if you select that, now you can actually go around and steal things out of people's pockets.
That's not available to everybody, and that limitation makes it more fun.
Heavy-handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your power attacks that you use actually knock people down.
Because you're getting things that actually do unique abilities. Obsidian gets it. This is what I've been asking for from Bethesda for
you can
years.
Take those hearts, and essentially you're taking these trophies, you could say, and it's actually giving you a permanent health bonus every time you do it. We have this perk called Assassin. Now, this is an early game perk that you can take, which every time you stealth attack an enemy, you're actually going to get a movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
You still get the time. I wonder how they're gonna fuse in the tactical time dilation this time around.
Flaws were a system that everybody loved from the first game, but we wanted to make it more personal to the player. We wanted it to really reflect how you were playing the game and give you a bonus that you actually wanted to really engage with.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we needed to go bigger, better, and more real than ever before. So, we turned to the team. I told them, no bad ideas. Give me what you got. Okay, we need more flaws. We need them to be real. I want to put them in the game, so give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
You have bad knees? They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds boring. Makes you sound like a boring person, but it's in the game. It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take
No, get marker.
Sometimes.
So you're stealing?
No, I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
Claire. Yeah, you shouldn't be stealing. What are you doing? You shouldn't be stealing.
Claire!
Tiny crimes.
Tiny crimes? Do you hear the second part, though? It's a crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay? But it's an amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back.
Okay.
Please. You, what do we got? Flaw.
I like to stare at the sun.
How long did you stare at the sun?
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour. An hour.
Oh. Makes me feel energized.
How many fingers am I hold up?
3?
No. Anything else? We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
That's kind of funny.
Kleptomaniac. This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal. And like that sounds really great. The drawback is sometimes when you're looking at things in the world that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
No.
One of our more wacky
Not
perks
automatically
is the
steal
Sun
them.
Gazer Flaw, and it just gives everyone cataracts while playing their game. So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes, and makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
If you happen to be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do, well, you'll be offered the flaw of over-prepared. Now, you'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're gonna take a debuff for a while.
That's a fun one.
While we support options like being a gunslinger who wants to key into destructive weapons.
No, hey, Dat Boy, welcome everybody. Thank you for
so they
stopping
know
in.
what hit them.
If you're checking, this is the Outer Worlds post show.
A lot of fun and
No, we're not getting
experimental
Elder Scrolls 6. It's not happening.
Maybe a mad scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science
That's
weapons
cool.
and armors.
Grenades.
Or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to
It's not
health
happening.
by murdering
There's no
your
Elder
friends.
Scrolls 6.
Nothing shows the impact of these character build options.
Shouldn't have
better than,
gotten-
in my opinion, the bridge area, which has a quest you get early on in Paradise Island.
I really didn't think it was. I mean, I was starting to be like, oh,
Not
maybe.
only do you
but
kind of encounter this very early,
I
and it's
didn't
a
think it
very
was gonna
core
show.
one to the story.
And it did.
But it really expresses our philosophy of allowing the player to solve problems in a bunch of ways. So you may solve it
I know.
by
I understand that,
speech
boy.
options. You
I
may talk to
understand.
them and maybe have to go do a quest for them and really kind of prove that you're a friend of the Protectorate to get by.
I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate.
You could go guns blazing and you could just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across.
Cool.
You could sneak in, lower the bridge, and then actually sneak in under the bridge to get over to the other side.
Cool. So nothing like it's really nice to have all these different options.
You
right?
can bypass the bridge entirely if you found like certain gadgets, like the shield gadget that protects you from poison gas as you go across, or the double jump boots, which kind of allow you to jump across the chasm and get across that way.
This is fantastic.
There's even a really kind of messed up way, right? Which is players can actually sacrifice one of their companions. Their companion who they just found is part of.
We're no different than the Breeze if we start tossing our own to the rats. I sure as law ain't gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
I must admit, I'm surprised we could come to an understanding. But I thank you
Sacrifice
for
a
your loyalty,
companion
stranger.
to get across the bridge.
As promised, you shall have clearance to cross this bridge.
That's hysterical.
It's such a fun quest, but again, it really showcases that we want you to be able to solve this in whatever way you want to. When you build your character your way, we're there for you. We really want you to have the experience that you want to have out of this.
That's fantastic. Way to go,
From
Obsidian.
the very beginning of our discussions about the Outer Worlds, we really knew we
How many
wanted every
quests
game
is
to
that a
take
part
place
of,
in a
though,
different
right?
colony. This lets us expand on
Like,
all
that's one
aspects
great
of the
example,
universe.
but
Every
is that
colony can be its own thing with
most
its
of
own
them,
flavor,
or is that, like,
and we can center them around anything we want.
dozen out of
Any ideas or
50?
setting we're interested in. Arcadia is an isolated colony with abundant resources, and it's run by an authoritarian faction called the Protectorate. Their dictatorship is thematically based around the question of how much freedom people will give up for security and luxury. For Protectorate subjects, unfortunately, that answer is everything.
That's a good
The
trope.
Protectorate is also incredibly wealthy because it was founded by the inventor of the skip drives, which are the Outer World's faster-than-light engines. But those skip drives are starting to cause rifts in space-time, which are cutting off all the other colonies on Earth from being able to trade with each other. The Order of the Ascendant is an offshoot of the Order of Scientific Inquiry from the original game, and like them are a science-based religion with the same goal of solving the universal equation, which will allow them to predict and alter the future to the benefit of all mankind. They used to be part of the Protectorate, but they split off to focus on solving the equation for the good of everyone, not as a way to simply control the masses.
Okay, cool.
The player's been sent to Arcadia as an Earth Directorate agent to find out how the skip drives are causing the rifts and what can be done to
PC game
stop
show?
them.
Oh, we could tune into the
Each of
PC
the
game show
factions have their own
after
solutions
this.
to the rift problem and their own goals.
Nice try,
The
Jeremy.
Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone, but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. And Antes just wants to be able to open and close them at will to control all the trade routes between the colonies. In addition to expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds, we're also expanding the humor, so each faction has its own flavor of absurdity. Anti's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game, and there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity, at a profit, of course.
Okay, that's
One
cool.
of my favorite things from Fallout New Vegas is the radio system. It was just iconic for me.
Hey!
And I wanted to make sure that the Outer Worlds 2 had that. So we actually built out 3 different radio stations, one for each of the major factions.
I
We
was
also have a ton of
wondering
music.
if that's what the
Each station might have like, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this
It's
entire
unique.
thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So it will respond to the things that are going on around the world that you've been interacting with. So if you go into a location, let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks, if you listen to the Protectorate radio station, they're gonna be cheering you on as a hero.
Wonderful news, everyone. The
They're
Zeronian
literally
gas
just doing the
leaks at
Fallout
the
radio.
automatic
That's
repair
amazing.
facility, strongly believed to be caused by Anti's Choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken auto mechanicals and all the excessive...
And 20, they said like some 20 original
The factions and companions
tracks
are great examples
that they're
of how we're
making
going
just for the
deeper and
game.
more
That's
complex this time around.
amazing.
They're integrated into the game's storyline much more than we did on the first Outer Worlds, and like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in the Outer Worlds too. As usual, each has their own
6.
quest lines, but this time they are also connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate completely. There's also a somewhat cute Automech support drone that is basically
Aw.
Niles' helper.
He is
Her
cute.
name is Val.
Hi, Val.
Marisol's part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend to with the player's help. There's also a cultist named Azza, who is part of a sub-faction that worships the rifts, and in her case, violence in general. You can choose
Worships
to either
the
turn her
rifts.
away from overt violence or support her chaotic and dangerous tendencies. At one time, Anti's Choice had a program to graft soldiers with animal parts to make them more formidable. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work, and most of them are now dead. There's a combat medic who survived, however, named Inez, and she wants the player to help her fix her graft, among other things.
Hey, Karlak?
Finally, there's Tristan. He's a protected arbiter who is judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one heavily armored package. It is your choice to either help him judge wrongdoers or show him what true justice looks like.
We definitely have reactivity in the game based on how you
Very
treat your
binary,
companions.
but-
I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you have not been treating them well, you will find out at the end of the game what that means.
Companions are a very, very important part of merchandising because that's the real beauty of the sequel. We're talking merch, baby. It is the lifeblood. It is what fuels us. Do you want to see some of my ideas? Hop, hop. Check this out. Gen Alpha loves body pillows, especially ones that look like human beings for some reason, right? Who needs a significant other when you could have a knife-wielding space psycho up in your sheets, huh? What do they do with them when they get them, huh? Maybe a little napping, maybe a little snuggling, maybe a little nut.
The visuals of the first Outer Worlds depicted a frontier colony in space. The Outer Worlds 2 is driven by an invasion of the Arcadia colony system by Anti's Choice, which shifts the visuals to be more reminiscent of a World War I-like setting in
Very
space.
cool art direction.
That evolution is seen across all aspects of
I
the
like
game,
that we're seeing all
starting
the
with
different
factions.
departments too, like
How
the
do you
way they did it
militarize
with the
everything,
Bethesda showcase.
including extreme
They're
capitalists
carrying
or
that into
math-crazed
here.
scientists? In a World War I setting, war comes with propaganda. The Sovereign uses it to maintain
Right.
control. Anti's Choice uses it to help their bottom line. The Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan. We want players to feel like Arcadia is a living, breathing place scarred by a long-standing war. Fairfield, one of the first towns you encounter, was once under Protectorate control, but has recently been taken over by Anti's Choice. They don't just occupy the town, they rebrand it with their signature style, repainting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring Anti and the Moon Man. Showing the towns
very
evolving
cool that
after the
to
invasion
allow
helps us push
new
immersion
players to
for our
come in. They
players.
just said, here's these two
One
corporate
of our
things. We're
priorities
not
in visually
going as far
realizing the
into
world of
corporate,
the Outer Worlds
but
2
it's still
was
there.
making sure everything
So
is
the
clear
identity
and
still
recognizable
exists.
from the player's
And they're still a
standpoint.
big player,
We
obviously.
want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs and visuals of who they're talking to, what they're going to be talking about, and how that progresses throughout the story. The first Outer Worlds was really about the player interfacing with corporations. And while we have that in the Outer Worlds 2, we really want to express not just the corporations, but how the player interacts with other facets of the world, like government entities or religious structures. And then we elaborate on those.
With larger environments, we wanted to encourage exploration by improving player mobility across the board. Now you can run, slide, double jump, mantle, and parkour your way through all of the nooks and crannies of these worlds. It really allows the player to just explore and have fun finding really cool stuff.
They're coming. Obsidian's really coming into their own.
We've aimed to make everything in the Outer Worlds 2
They
better.
really
from
they
top
just
to
keep
bottom.
building up.
The
which is
RPG
awesome.
elements were the start, but that's touched our story, our art, and especially our gameplay. A good sequel is true to the original. That's first and foremost, right? Like, we all want to add in a bunch of things as you're making a sequel, right? We want to make it bigger and better in every way. That's what we were trying to do here. And I thought, we did not need this consultant. We've made enough sequels. We understand how to do this. And I will say, I don't think it's been entirely successful.
I am very proud of the combat improvements we have made in the Outer Worlds 2, thanks to my patented combat system. You may be thinking to yourself, it can't be that good? Shush, what are you even talking about? You haven't seen it yet. Watch this. Put a helmet on, because I'm about to blow all of your minds with my COMBAT system, combat system. My name is Mark, I'm the head of sequels. Shall we begin? You're thinking, what's C for? C, capitalize the fact that the people loved the first game. We're gonna take those people, we're gonna make them buy the sequel, giving out pounds, pounds, pounds. Quick ones, ha, ha, not you, Dev. Here we go. What comes after C? O, optimize for player satisfaction. I am terrified of online gamers, okay? I wanna make them happy, so let's, okay? All right. Mobilize the players so they're ready for that sweet, sweet pre-order. Clap with me. Sweet, sweet. If you don't have rhythm, Brandon, just say it. Sweet, sweet pre-order. Everybody has a different rhythm, and it's blowing mine. And here we go. B, burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new ways to loot dead bodies. You know what I mean? Right, Otis? Okay, well, it's a big part of the game. A, you gotta agonize
Making a better
about how many people
Starfield.
are gonna be angry that we have
I
just
think
put so
I
much
think it's
combat
definitely
into this
more in
thing
the direction
and
of what
almost no
people wanted
romance
with
at all.
Starfield from
We should look at
Bethesda,
ourselves.
right?
What is
Like,
wrong with us? Huh?
I
We can't have one
said
love
it from
story
the
in this?
get-go. I don't think
How many
people
have been in love? Raise
who
your
are
hands.
Bethesda
Raise
fans
your hand if you're
needed
in love.
space mechanics.
Okay,
I
are you
don't
lying?
think people
I
needed
have a
settlement
wife.
and
Put your
outpost
hand down.
systems. I don't think people needed 1,000 planets.
T, toi. In French,
They said that they're going to be
means two.
using
Sequel.
more procedural generation
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself.
in Elder Scrolls, or they're going to
How
have
do we end
a
it?
reliance on it.
Anything is possible. And we've established that we're the best there is, and there's no sequel better than us.
And I look at that and I
if I
go.
could just say one more thing.
But that was a while.
Thank
Those
you very
comments were a
much.
while ago.
I know
That
I've
was,
kind of
I think,
changed the
before
world of video
Starfield came
games
out,
today.
so I
For
wonder
the
if they
Outer Worlds
pivoted.
2, we wanted to improve gunplay in every way. We focused on improving the feel of each weapon, the way a weapon snaps into ADS, the way recoil feels when firing.
Yeah,
and
the
how
the
impactful our
gunplay
sound
was like
effects really
fine
sell
in
the
Outer
weapon's
Worlds.
fantasy. To things like how a unique reload animation can
But
add
it
a lot of character to each weapon.
Wasn't
We've increased the
anything
variety of weapons by
mind-blowing.
including new weapon types, but also through a host of fun and unique weaponry. We have things like the Bourse Blaster that fires out tumors that can explode like grenades.
Oh.
Or can even be eaten by the player for additional health.
Oh.
We have a weapon called Rookie's Reward that will actually level up the more you use it throughout the game.
That's cool.
And every time it levels up, it's got fun fanfare where it's like shooting out confetti and it's got a fun little setup.
Unique weapons.
We have a really fun weapon called the pop-up gun.
Big
It fires out ad drones that will
brain.
distract your enemies with
Using
corporate
skills
ads,
outside of
slogans, and
combat.
jingles. While your enemies are
Unique
distracted,
uniques.
You can focus fire on them or explode these drones for additional
And
damage.
it's not randomly generated
New to the Outer
loot,
Worlds
like
2
in
are
Starfield
throwaways.
when they use their
So you can
stupid
use frag
legendary
grenades to flush out
system.
enemies,
And I'm not
smoke
just trying to
grenades to
crap on
camouflage and
Bethesda,
escape,
because I want to have a really
distraction
great
devices
Elder
to bait
Scrolls
enemies
6. I
into a
think
stealth
everybody
attack.
knows this. But I'm just saying, this is the right direction. And what Bethesda has been doing is the wrong direction. And it's a weird world that we live in, where I'm looking at an Obsidian game and going, hey, Bethesda, look at that, when previously it was...
Science
not that Obsidian has ever done bad, but like you look at the Outer Worlds and you go, okay, we want to see.
It's been upgraded, so you can shrink your enemy down to the
shrink
size of a
rate.
sprat.
Like I think when
run over
Avowed
them,
was coming out,
exploding
everyone
them
was
into
saying, oh, it's Obsidian's take on the Elder Scrolls because they still.
That was probably my favorite
right?
one from the first
Bethesda's
game, so we
held
brought
up
it into
here.
the
They're on this
second game,
pedigree, which
but
they've
we
earned
improved it,
that.
though. So instead of shrinking your enemies
From their
for a
past
short period of
games,
time
and everyone
having
said,
them
let's get
re-expand,
Obsidian to
this
that
time
level
they
because we
stay
see all the
shrunk,
good stuff
and we
Obsidian
actually
does, but
added
we
in
want
the
them to
ability
improve in
step
some of
on
these
them, just kind of
areas.
squish them and kick them because we knew that was the player fantasy.
And this is
we knew
doing
that's what
all of
everybody
that.
wanted to do.
This
They
is-
wanted to step on the enemies. They wanted to kick them. So we made sure to double down on that stuff.
In addition to things like
This
our
is
returning
incredible.
favorites, we also have some really fun and unique new science weapons. One of them is called the Armageddon. This
Everyone
one's
else
really
who got
cool
Game
because
Pass,
it
you get to play for
actually
free.
shoots out
Well,
these
you get
masses
for
that are like
free,
these little
right, that's-
arms that will stick to people or cover all kinds of different things, and
You're paying
they will
every
continue to
month.
just hit them until they get destroyed.
That is.
And we have another one that's just super cool called the Spectrum Dance Saber. This is a melee weapon that actually lets you attack to a musical beat. And if you continue to do that, you'll actually get additional bonuses each hit you do.
You're getting Hi-Fi Rush in Outer Worlds.
Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material harvested from rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy. Fate pricing
You get a
everything in this
BFG.
pack. Now, ammo's extremely rare for this weapon, but you can use it in just the right situation to devastate
Bim,
effects.
sorry, Bim. Sorry you
Another
didn't get
great
Elder
one is Gary.
Scrolls. But
If
hey,
you wear Gary,
it's
he will
1 year
lash out at
closer
your
than it
opponents as
was
you're walking
last
through
year.
combat. So we even have science armors, and we've really
So we're
kind of shown
we're
off
getting closer
what
every
we thought was
single
really
year.
great
But
for the
thank you for
player,
hanging out
from a
today,
science
Bim. I hope you
perspective.
enjoyed the showcase.
We're all about letting people play the game their way. There are some players who prefer to be
I hope
immersed
you have
in
a
a
great rest of your day.
first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective. Why not allow both? Well, now you can swap between the two, letting
First
you
and
enjoy
third.
the experience
Excellent.
in whatever way you like.
Perfect. First and third person. And
One
that
of
looks
the things I
pretty
really like
slick.
about having the third-person mode is being able to see all of the fun and unique armors and armor
Red-
combinations and weapons that you can equip your player with.
Red's now having
all
a
of
good
the
time.
actions that you could do in first person, so you're double jumping
Now Red's gonna
around,
play.
You get to see your character in that way. And you get to take in the world and see things in a different light.
And this is, it looks like this was built
The Outer Worlds 2 is really the biggest game we've ever made.
in the game
Bigger choices,
versus
more reactivity,
in
more weapons.
Avowed. It looks like they
more
added
things
it in.
to find in each of the worlds the
This
players
looks like
can
it's meant
visit.
to be here.
The team has done incredible work bringing the Outer Worlds 2 to life. And we can't wait for you to play it.
Even though we've always been a multi-project
I'm
studio,
excited.
this is going to be the first time we've ever released 3
Exodus,
games in 1 year.
Expanse, Outer
It
Worlds
feels
2.
amazing to do. We're so excited
Chris.
for more people to be playing our games. It is truly
Chris, it's
an
a good
exciting
year
time
for
here
you,
at
man.
Obsidian. We're exploring worlds big and small while expanding on franchises that we've created, and we have no plans to slow down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do best, make your world your way.
I am fully on board. Obsidian, well played. The only thing that I'm not wowed by so far is that these areas, these open areas, look like the same. It's like, okay, these environments don't look that interesting, right? So what's interesting is point A and point B. What isn't interesting is a lot of the stuff in between, which was an issue I had with the original Outer Worlds. Doesn't look like they've really changed
With
it
the
based
Outer
on
Worlds 2,
some
we're
of that
all
stuff
about the
there.
best place to play, which is also the promise of Xbox. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut that. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you can take a phone call on this Xbox, then play the Outer Worlds 2 right after. Excuse me, I'm getting a call. Hello? What am I doing? I'm playing the Outer Worlds. Hello? Yeah, this is Mark. I didn't know I had jury duty today. You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2 people to lug around safely. We're gonna go up to my apartment, okay? And this is an Xbox you actually wear that also plays the Outer Worlds 2. What do you think, Claire?
No way!
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic.
They're doing Outer
Now,
Worlds
this is actually
VR?
not an Xbox, so you cannot play the Outer Worlds 2 on it. Can't play anything on this. I guess Bread.
If it's MetaQuest.
You ever play Bread where you take it out of one slot, put it in the other? I don't have friends. If you pre-order the premium edition now, you'll get early access, which is like a prequel to the sequel, or is launch the sequel to the pre-order, or like, why are any of us alive?
You pre-order, you get early access.
It doesn't matter. Either way, my job here is done. It's time for the Grounded 2 portion of the Direct, which is sort of like the sequel to the Outer Worlds 2 portion of the Direct, which I absolutely just hit a home run with. You know, it's really nice to see my influence go on to other games. Take it away, team.
Thank you, Sonic. That was very, very funny.
And big exit?
That was really, really funny. They're doing 3 days early access. I hate that. I hate that so much. I've been very vocal about how I disdain the FOMO tax very, very much. I have been incredibly vocal about how much I hate the FOMO tax. And I will not support your premium edition. I don't care if it comes with DLC. It is a scummy way to get people, because I've said this in the past. I'll say it again. If you are lumping in DLC with the premium edition of the game, which also gets you the early access, then just give the early access to anybody who pre-orders, right? You're lumping in the benefit that you're getting is the DLC. You are charging for the DLC. You can continue to do that, and you could just say, hey, if you pre-order the game, you'll get 3 days early access. I'd be fine with that. That's a good way to incentivize pre-orders. You can't, I'm sorry, people will argue with me in the chat and comments and wherever. They'll continue to argue with me, but you're getting the DLC. Think about it for a second. You don't need to be charged extra to play the game early. You can just be charged for the DLC portion of the game. You can just be charged to get the DLC lumped in, and that's what you're spending the extra money on, and then everybody can get access. You're not better than everybody else because you have the money to spend on the premium edition. So I hate that to bits, but obviously it works. Shut up, Bobby. Shush your mouth. Look, I get it, and I just think that anybody, I don't agree with that argument. I think it's a really silly argument. So I'm not on board for that. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole today. You're not going to see me, but there's no reason to pre-order the Ultimate. Well, you can pre-order the Ultimate. Give them some in-game stuff, right? Give them a rare skin or give them whatever, right? Or if you want to, this is how you get them to pre-order the Ultimate, because the DLC's at a discount, right? We normally charge $30 for this DLC, but you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, you're going to get it for $20. Which, the reality of that situation is you're probably getting the DLC. That $20 they're charging is probably what the actual cost of it is. That's most likely the internal value that they're charging for it. Yeah? The $30 is for all the suckers who didn't pay for the premium edition, who are now paying an extra $10, and Obsidian or Microsoft or whoever goes, hey, wonderful, we're getting all these extra sales. Just saying. So there is a benefit to getting, to pre-ordering the Ultimate. Then they'll just jack up the price of the DLC, then charge more, and it'll be like, oh, look at the discount you're getting. Listen, ultimately, yes. Ultimately, yes. That's what they'll do because we know how companies operate. But I think lumping in early access is just a way to, especially when it's tied to that premium edition, you're buying a DLC, you don't know what the size of the DLC is, you don't know what the quality of the DLC is going to be, you know nothing about this besides probably the name. That's all you're going to know about the DLC, so they can make it as big or as little as they want. That's how you get a situation like what happened with the Starfield DLC, Shattered Space, where a lot of people are disappointed. But hey, you got the DLC included with the premium edition, and it also came with the early access, so that was a good benefit. And then the DLC ended up being disappointing for a lot of people. So I'm just saying, if you're looking at it for the consumer, you're not winning. We're not winning here. Just offer the early access tied to the pre-order. I just bought my daughter the MetaQuest. Really good. Listen, MetaQuest is hemorrhaging money. I don't know how, but they have some real, like the Deadpool thing just came out on MetaQuest. I think VR exclusivity is really silly because it's already a niche product. But I do have to say, credit where credit's due to MetaQuest for investing in VR when a lot of studios are scared. And the fact that Outer Worlds 2 is going to be playable in VR is absolutely incredible. This sequel is doing everything I want Bethesda to be doing. And I could highlight, without even going back and rewatching everything, I'll just put it on mute and give you guys some background footage to watch. But it's improving the gunplay. Okay, fantastic. It's improving the range of options that you have as far as how you pursue different environments and different interactions. Fantastic, right? That's natural things. The visuals look a little bit better, I think. I would have to kind of do a side-by-side, but I'm just going to say they're probably better and improved, which is great. The stability, probably better. They're making it accessible for both new and old players because they have Cleo's Choice, which is what they explained was the mixture of Cleo's and Spacer's Choice. They merged them together, so you're still getting that corporation stuff, and they're obviously a big player in the game, but it allows for someone who's new, who's like, well, I don't really want to play the first. You're telling me this is a better sequel in every single way. Why don't I just hop into the sequel? You can obviously get into it, and I'm sure that you'll have a lot of reward for playing the original, and there'll be a lot of value there and a lot of references, right? So that's great, but it's not necessarily neglecting people who are jumping into this game, and I think that's a fantastic way. This, having like 5 ways to open a bloody door based on your skills. Now, this can get a little bit tricky, right? A little bit tricky in the sense that if suddenly every single skill is you can open the door with this and this and this and this and this, it's like, okay, well, it actually doesn't matter what skill. I just need to be invested in a skill, and then I can open the door. The way that you differentiate this is by making it so, you need engineering 2, but you would need, strength 7. Right, so it's actually easier to hack this particular door. But the fact that you can utilize these in a combat way and then in an out-of-combat way is fantastic. And I love this. And I want more games to utilize it. And then you also get kind of this unique, clever interaction. Banging it, and then boom, getting it open. Right, that is super cool. The trade system coming back, I like that they're making the skills more important. They explicitly called out that you're not just getting plus 10% to this or plus 5% to this. They're actually going to make each skill that you put a point into more beneficial. Amazing, because there's nothing more boring to me than leveling up and then going, okay, am I going to get 2% better this or 5% better that? Yes, it's neat, but ultimately, in the grand scheme of things. So, way to go, Obsidian. As far as sequels go. 280% minus 20% NPC detection. Is that just for what the overall is currently at level 8? Some of these perks here. Creatures always drop raw meat. Very cool. Let's see. Melee attacks knock down enemies. They said you couldn't pickpocket unless you had that, which that one is a bit weird. I think obviously you should be able to. They just jumped through. Consume food and drinks healed more. Additionally, drugs add inhaler charge. Interesting. Through the keyhole. That's what I wanted to see. I know you start on that, and that's intentional because you want someone to do exactly what I'm trying to do. A portion of locked containers can be viewed before lockpicking. Interesting. Also, you gain a bonus to increased range with guns. 50% weapon range. Also that's a cool perk. So really unique perks. Has power to knock down. Awesome. So I love what they're doing here. You need to watch that little animation thingy they released for secret level Outer Worlds 2. I will definitely check that out. I really wanted to play it, but unfortunately it ran like, Check out Hell Is Us. I just played the demo. It's pretty good and lots of lore. I will take a look at the Hell Is Us demo for sure. Absolutely will look at Hell Is Us. I like these unique flaws as well. So you have LB, RB, and that's your companion's ultimate, maybe? Or your ultimate, and you get 2 charges of it? And this, I'm assuming, is your time dilation. Tactical time dilation. So all around, this looks really, really great. So kudos to Obsidian. I like the flaws too. The pop knees one is really funny. And then this, right? All the different avenues that you can explore. This is a cool looking, like a Walther P83 pistol. But all the different ways. You go all the way down. You can use your jet boots. You can go under the bridge. You could kill, right? That's awesome as well. So really, really cool. Now they said that there was a PC game show going on. PC Gaming Show 2025. We could check this out. And it just started, it looks like. I see Monster Hunter there. Gray Zone Warfare. Okay. It's starting soon. The animation or the PC game show? Oh, this is, you got 7 minutes to the game show. All right, this is just the pre-show stuff. All right. I think I'll probably, we'll see. I don't know if I want to stream this or.
Throwing everything in a cozy van and going on an open world road trip with your friends? Sign me up for Outbound. Oh, hey. Looks like we're getting a call from PC Gaming Show co-host Sean Plott. Hello, PC Gaming Show co-host Sean Plott.
Hey, Frankie. It's me, PC Gaming Show co-host Sean Day9 Plott. Just checking in to see if you're almost ready for the big show next month.
Sean, the big show is today. Right now. This is the pre-show.
I definitely knew that. And definitely didn't forget what month and day it definitely is, or what country I should definitely be in.
Are you sure you're going to be ready? You're on in about 10 minutes?
Relax. I've started going to one of those GTA barbers. Super time efficient. See? Oh, and while I'm doing a respec, look, give it to me straight. Come on. Great, right? Pretty good.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, that's about my reaction.
I'd stick with the default Sean skin.
Gotcha. Day 9, day 1. A classic look.
Well, things are going great at the workshop.
All right, while they're doing this, I just want to pull up this here. This was my list of showcase predictions. I wasn't expecting Fable. I was correct about that. I wasn't expecting Blade. I wasn't expecting Fallout 3. I wasn't expecting Elder Scrolls 6. I wasn't expecting Halo. These two. This is strange to me. As well as Contraband wasn't there. I have no idea what is happening with these 3 games. And it's really, really concerning. Perfect Dark I put on the C list. I was probably the least expecting for that, right? So Perfect Dark did not show up. Silksong also was weird not to see Silksong, if I'm being brutally honest, because that's releasing this year. So, but it's Switch, is it like a Switch timed exclusive? We're just launching on Switch. Tiny little bit during the handheld. Yeah, but that's not like, that game is releasing very, very soon. So that, I wouldn't really count that as showing it. They had it featured.
building your own PC for the first time or even
Indiana Jones DLC we got. This I also figured we would have. The dead and the devs are moving on. They dead and the devs are moving on. These guys are dead. Yeah, I don't. I'm very concerned about the state of Everwild and Replaced. If I'm being honest, Replaced, I was really excited for. Other than that, I guess it was about what I expected. Clockwork Revolution definitely stole the show for me. In particular, I thought Clockwork Revolution was really quite special.
Okay.
It sure does look cool though. That giant mech right over there, just off camera.
So expensive looking, isn't it?
It's a real sight to behold. Anyway, don't worry about having not built the PC yet, because it just means we can build it together during the show, and then give it away to one lucky viewer.
It's so fortuitous how my
someone can win a PC.
Before we get started though, why do you think gamers should build their own PCs?
Well, there's lots of reasons. Cost is definitely one, because you can absolutely save money over pre-built computers by buying parts separately and putting them together yourself.
Not so true
PCs
anymore.
are also one of the few electronics in your life you can build at home. Do you know anyone who's built their own television?
My Uncle Bertram did. He worked on it for weeks, but it just turned out to be a cardboard box with some angry bees in it.
You could buy listen,
BTV.
pre-built PCs, if someone wants to try to get into PC gaming.
Stung all of us.
Pre-built
Exactly my
PCs
point. We're also living in an age
are
where we're losing the power to repair electronics
really
ourselves.
special
What happens
in
when
the sense
something
that
goes wrong
they're
with your
a pretty good
smartphone?
price
You
on
have to
top of
take
when
it
you
to someone to
consider
get it
that you
fixed,
get like
or
a
more
2-year
likely,
warranty
have it
with them.
replaced completely. If you built your own PC,
Kidding,
not
I
only
don't
will
know
you become
anything.
more knowledgeable about
You know lots of
diagnosing
things,
problems,
Jeremy.
you'll have a better chance of being able to fix it yourself.
Sound advice. Thank you, Jacob. But don't start shopping for parts for your own PC build just yet. You might be the lucky
Did it?
winner of
Moonlighter
the
2 came
awesome
at the,
custom PC Jacob and I are going to put together.
Moonlighter 2 was at the
We've got one more game to show you as we build our way to the end of our pre-show.
it was at the Day of the Devs. Bobby, did you not check that out? It looked cool. The bit I saw looked cool. Okay, I think I'm just gonna watch this on my own spare time, and then if anything in particular really interesting comes out, then I might make a video on it. But because I don't know how long this show is supposed to last. If it's another 2 hours, I can't stream for another 2 hours. But thank you all so much for hanging out here tonight. There we go. Thank you all so much for hanging out here tonight. The game showcase was really quite good in my opinion. Or today. It's only 3 o'clock here on the Eastern Coast. So I'll definitely be diving deep into the Outer Worlds. Let's see. Let's take a little quick read on Twitter, shall we? State of Decay 3. Oh yeah, State of Decay 3. This is so true. Right? Contraband, Everwild, State of Decay 3. Paris is a 9.5 out of 10. I think they had fantastic diversity in their showcase. Call of Duty 7 ending it. Oh. Uh-oh. $80 for Outer Worlds 2. I don't know if that's going to de-incentivize anybody from checking it out, but the one with DLC is $100. Game Pass, right? Game Pass it is. Game Pass. $8 standard games incoming. Not good. This will buy the new norm and people will buy it.
Welcome to the PC.
Any game that has this lame stab at... Alright, get out of here. Oof, madness. Won't be playing that. Yikes. I'm glad I have Game Pass. Yeah. It's starting off at $80. Yeah, the premium edition is $100 to get that early... $100 to get that early access if you want to play 3 days early. 3 days, you gotta spend $100 to play it 3 days early. Please do not. Please do not. Don't do that. Game of the show by a wide margin, and Exile's about to wake people up. Yeah, Clockwork Revolution set the bar really, really high. Really high. It looked amazing. Most anticipated game from Juicehead. So generally positive people. A's and B's all around. This is their complete lineup coming to Xbox systems here. Resonance, that was really interesting. Nothing on Gears of War. I know that everyone's been saying, hey, maybe we'll get a remaster of the whole trilogy, but we have Reloaded. But that's coming to PlayStation, which is neat. Clockwork Revolution stole the show. Outer Worlds, Black Ops 7. I know Holly's very excited for. Chronos New Dawn continues to impress. Also, Blood of the Dawnwalker from the ex-Witcher devs looked really, really cool. I thought they were doing that next year. No, God no, they're doing it as soon as possible. They announced it, that they're going to start doing $80 games. You think they're going to stop? These were two really pleasant surprises, too. And even, I would say, Super Meat Boy 3D. But High on Life 2 did not expect Age of Mythology DLC. Did not expect that at all. Black Ops 7 was a disappointing way to end the show. And of course, you're going to see a lot of this too, right? Games playable on PS5. But honestly, I don't care. We have one more thing to show. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Forza on handheld. Look, handheld is great. Handheld is really, really cool. Then to be able to play something like Forza on the go is a perfect use of it. I think even like Grounded. Hell, Outer Worlds 2 on the go sounds phenomenal. This was probably also the biggest disappointment as well. Not that I'm complaining. If they need more time, they need more time. But coming in due time was really, really hard to see. They want people to get Game Pass. That's ultimately their move, right? That's ultimately what they're trying to go for, is to say, hey, look, you can spend $80 on this game, or you can just spend $10 a month for PC Game Pass, or Game Pass Ultimate, which is whatever, $20 a month or $25 a month. And that's what they really want. And that is something I do get worried about, because we already see companies getting a little bit scummy. Activision. Here's the deal, is Activision already just tested, and it was a feature that I didn't realize I have this screen on tiny, so you guys couldn't really see the stuff that I was looking at. I apologize for that. But ultimately it was, I could pull something like this up. So Xbox turns around and they say, or rather, what is it? We already see them getting a little bit scummy, right? So Activision, by accident, released... it was in-game ads to buy their premium bundles in the loadout screens or whatever of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is already a game that has abundant AI usage for their calling cards, for their weapon skins, for their loading screens, for their teaser images for maps, right? Activision is overloaded with AI, and fans are calling them out on it, but they... Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, it was an accident. What am I talking about? They didn't mean to. Never mind, my point is invalidated. No, they've already... Look, they're trying to monetize this stuff as much as possible. So, what I worry about when now suddenly they see... Oh, no, Game Pass... They're going to get an influx of people that are going to sign up for Game Pass because they realize, A, their games are available anywhere, and Xbox is available anywhere, so they're going to keep seeing that growing for the foreseeable future, and then it's going to stagnate. It's going to stagnate at some point, and then one of two things is going to happen. They're going to start cutting or one of three. They're going to start cutting things back. They're going to start adding in crap like ads when you're already paying, right? You're paying for the subscription service, but they're going to add ads. They're going to cut back the games, or they're just going to raise the price. And now you're paying $30 a month every single month. And then you go, well, why don't I just buy the $80 game? And, you know, it's still, or maybe like it gets to $35 a month. And then you're like, why don't I just buy the game? I'm really not saving that much. I buy two, you know, I not enough games are releasing. That adds to the value. So, that's my fear with the future of Game Pass. When PlayStation pays Microsoft players will be happy. I mean, it's eventually it does run out. Be sure to, so before I sign off here, let me just check I don't know if, yeah, okay, so Arcane's still streaming. He has ads. I turned off ads on my stream because it's going to get demonetized anyway, so I don't care.
Trailer and the main characters doing all this awesome stuff, and you're seeing them do backflips and flip around and do shit, and then it's just a first person.
Are they in?
Okay. And this actually reminds me.
Is he watching? Oh no, they're all okay, let's do this. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Let's do this.
Complaining about one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time, still like probably my favorite campaign of all time, which is Infinite. And then with this, it had no idea that it was Call of Duty, and had
how dare these folks come in and end the show with Call of Duty 7 when it looked absolutely like
thank you.
That is not the way to end the show. Clockwork Revolution.
No one sync with this.
Clockwork Revolution was absolutely the highlight of the entire thing. I'm sorry, it was the highlight of the entire show. They
was really cool.
should have ended with that because it was amazing. It was phenomenal. But Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, and they didn't show anything.
I know. That's we're just.
I mean, they have. Listen, they did show things. They did show things.
Yeah. You know,
they had the jetpacks. They had the future setting. The Japan or Japanese or wherever it was set. Right.
South Korea.
South Korea.
I'm so happy to know
South
that
Korea
at
was
least
really cool.
one of my. I'm so happy to know that at least one of my Xbox Showcase predictions for this year was correct. Damarco was going to have at least one crash out moment, and I'm so happy I was here for that. Welcome, Damarco.
He's had a crash out moment for every Xbox show since I've known the guy.
I was thinking there was two, right, DeMarco? How did you feel about the early access for Grounded all over again, or Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded?
The game is priced. The game. Outer Worlds is priced at $80.
Okay,
it is
I was
$80,
I was actually going to bring that up. So I just saw the tweet that is officially their first $80 game this holiday is Outer Worlds 2.
It is an $80 game. It is an $80 game.
Yeah.
And the issue is now it's $100 if you want the premium edition with the early access, which is just a bunch of hogwash and
dear
fuck.
And now what they're trying to do, listen, what they're trying to do is they want people to subscribe to Game Pass. They want folks to be like, well, I only have to pay $25 a month and I can get the Outer Worlds 2. F paying $80 for a brand new game. Oh, but then I also pay for the $10 upgrade or whatever it's going to cost to get the upgrade that includes the early access. That sounds great. I'm going to absolutely do that. And now suddenly what you have is a bunch of Game Pass subscribers that aren't going to want to move off the platform because it's a phenomenal deal. Let's not argue that, right? It's a phenomenal deal. Yeah. What I was just saying on my own thing, on my own channel, is that I am worried that what happens is eventually, like, it's going to do the same thing that every other subscription service has done. It's going to plateau. What do they do when it plateaus? One of three options. Option number one, they raise the price. Option number two is they start cutting back the features that you get. Or they just, like, give more things that should be included in all Game Pass plans. And, like, well, actually, if you pay for the more expensive Game Pass, you get this. Option number three is that they start doing things like what Call of Duty accidentally did, which Call of Duty accidentally put ads into their game for their skins. So then you start seeing how they sneakily monetize it in increasingly creative and manipulative ways. So that's what's going to happen. It's just inevitable. I'm sorry. Game Pass is a great deal, and it's going to continue to be a great deal. But you're going to have to prepare for this.
You forgot the fourth one. You forgot the fourth option, DeMarco.
Hmm?
Layoffs!
Well, that's happening because of
that's
AI. Like, Call of Duty is basically just a bunch of AI now. You know, I was just watching a video on this, actually, in regards to... I think Legacy Killer actually just put it out. Oh, no, it was... Maybe it was Legendary. Legacy Killer. But it was basically just talking about... It was Legacy Killer. Talking about how the game is ad nauseum AI stuff with their calling cards and their loading things and like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he's been calling out Call of Duty a lot lately.
All right, I'll be right back.
Sing the praises of Expedition.
Call of Duty's had plenty of reasons to be called out. I mean...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, basically the plan here, for those of you that are still watching, we're going to move over to Red Wolf Renegade's stream. I'm going to copy and paste the link here for you if you want to come hang out. Thank you for joining mine. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Thank you to our channel members especially for continuing to give that support to the show. Like I said, we're getting to a point where financially I might be able to have an editor join in, which is really exciting for a couple, like maybe 1 or 2 a month, but that's more than I was able to do before. And if that does, you know, if it maintains to the opportunity to be financially feasible, then I think we can increase the production value as well as the frequency and quantity and stuff like that, consistency. So I'm excited for that future, and that's thanks to everybody who continues to support the channel. So I look forward to continuing to grow as we reach our way to 5K, which is super exciting. But I will see you all in the next one, and come hang out in Red Wolf Renegades. Now we're going to do a post-show discussion in Renegades thing. So I'll see you guys all there.